Storm's
We have been
turn to
absolutely
bat.
spoiled for Dota over the course of the last few days, and now we get the top two teams out of the group. Virtus.pro versus VGJ Storm. They're not totally through yet,
Virtus.pro's
VP.
turn to bat.
There's options where things can go weird, but
Yeah.
VGJ Storm, they're there. So maybe you get to cast your favorite hero, the VGJ Storm play.
Storm's turn
Only
to
team to play it
bat.
during a competitive match recently. Tackies.
Oh,
He doesn't want that. He doesn't want that at all.
it could happen. I wasn't even thinking about it because you said my favorite hero, and it's not a hero. So anyway,
Wow. Let's look at this game. So this game has some interesting implications in this group. Not really for VGJ Storm because they're actually already secured first place. They're looking great. They're 12-2.
Yep.
The worst score they can get is 12-4 if they were to lose this 2-0. And the only teams that can come close to them are Virtus.pro and Team Secret, who could at best get 10-6.
Yeah.
Now for VP, this game is important because they're tied for second right now with Secret at 8-6. And if they were to lose the series, they can end up dropping all the way down to fourth if VG Gaming end up winning.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue at this time, you're like, okay, you're secured winner bracket for this team. Yes, they are.
Optic could
wait.
go 8-8.
No, never mind.
And they can actually force a tiebreaker.
I'm wrong. They need to win one game.
Yes,
They need to win a game. If VP lose 0-2, they're 8-8. Then we can have a really crazy tie in this game, in this group, actually.
It would require Newbie or Optic to basically win both of their games. Now, Optic is playing against VG Gaming, so they may feel a little confident about that. And Newbie is playing up against Team Secret. So Secret actually hold their own future in their hands. If they can get one game off Newbie, that'd be great. But if Newbie 2-0 it, we are looking at a possible four-way tie.
Wow, we said that really in sync. Good job.
Yay! Synergy in everything. But let's look at this game.
Yes.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, and just hope for now that number 1, number 2 position in the group are going to play just some terrific Dota. And this is the first time we actually get to cast VGJ Storm out the entire group stage.
Absolutely. I've seen a little bit of their games, but not that much, so I'm curious to see how it goes. Now, one thing I've noticed that others have talked about is that VGJ Storm play a lot of Drow. So that could definitely be something that we see somewhere in this game. They'll pick the first pick Necrophos that they've played on Snaking a good amount. So Comfort picks first. And as far as VP goes, we've seen a decent amount of different picks out of them, actually. So it's a bit hard to predict exactly what they're going to go for. The Silencer that they've played is available right now for solo. Oh, and by the way, VP are coming off an 0-2 loss to VG that they just had. So we need to remember that VP have not looked too hot today.
And that felt real odd, too. Like, no one was getting dumpstered by Ori.
He got crushed.
And was the matchup, too, was it? Was Templar Assassin versus Lena? And that Ori was playing. And, yeah, that's the matchup you kind of expected no one to be on top of. But that did not happen. It did not come out that way. But there is one big play which I kind of want to make a moment for, which is Roger. Like, his win ranger, his control has been absolutely amazing for Virtus.pro. He's been the standout player for their entire side.
Looks like he will not be playing Wind Ranger this game.
It does not look like it. Not unless they're just like, hey, let's pick up Wind Ranger and solo. We'll put you on the Chen. But that would be real rough.
It would be pretty weird if Solo said Solo will put you on the Chen.
Yeah, that's true. He'll be talking to himself, and then that's the first sign of insanity.
Yeah, pretty much when you talk to yourself in third person.
Yeah. I've done that a lot.
He doesn't strike. Yeah, yep.
Solo casters do that a lot.
Yeah, and insanity, like you said.
Yeah.
What do you do for VP at this point? You have the only piece of information you have is this Necrophos that you can start trying to counterpick. Pugna is available as an example that you could grab. You could grab Nyx Assassin, which I don't think they want with Chen. Maybe you just pick Solo's hero and keep your options open for now as far as the cores go.
You just get something like the Vengeful Spirit, a hero that just seems to work into every lineup. Well, there you go. Ursa Warrior.
Okay, interesting. This matchup is generally not that great for Ursa just because you can Ghost Shroud off his attacks and it's not that easy of a lane matchup, but at the same time Ursa is one of the heroes that can punish Necrophos a lot if he's stunned or if Ghost Shroud is on cooldown. So if you set up the conditions for the type of fight that Ursa wants, he can definitely kill off Necro.
So let's go with tanky and great lane presence. This sounds like a way to win the current TI if you keep ticking all those boxes. But VGJ Storm, how do they now deal with this? You're up against the Chen. Like, do you try and find a way to just deal with him directly? Like, because is it really the Chen army that you're always worried about? Is it just the lane presence, that over-aggression with the long-duration penitence that's a real pain in the butt? Like, do you push him out then?
I think they might just pick Crystal Maiden. Maiden or Mirana? Oh, Mirana's banned. Okay, so Maiden. Maiden has been played by SVG and I believe MSS both. At the very least, it has been played by SVG. It's a great hero against the Chen because of the Frostbite, against the 1 creep early on, and it's a great hero against Chen later on with the Crystal Nova against the army. So pretty strong. The aura for Necrophos is great, giving him that extra mana in the lane so he can sustain even better than usual. Can be played as both a 4 and a 5. I think it's just a stable pick.
Yes!
Okay.
Thank you. I'm good.
That is
Thank you.
a very different approach. Well,
Thank you.
VGJ Storm are in first place, so they can do some stuff that I don't think we've seen this much from them. There's been teams that have been banning Enigma first phase, including VP, actually. They did do it earlier against VG, just VG Gaming. In game number 2, they first phase banned Enigma. So VGJ Storm will be grabbing this hero, limiting Ursa's farm. The Black Hole is great when Enrage is out, or it tanks the entire Enrage duration. Midnight Pulse is great against melee heroes. Can defend the base against Chen. So I get that. It's just they're showing 2 cores. We have to assume that this Enigma is a 3.
Yes.
Technically, it can be a 4, but...
Oh, it's 4 position Enigma is just so... Like, where do you put him? It's not like the days you can throw him in the jungle anymore. You can run him support inside of a lane, just pulling creeps back and then harassing into Chen.
You can imagine a style where you play Enigma as like a pseudo support, where you go to the lane, you deny a creep, you harass a bit with your Eidolons, and then you farm the jungle as well.
Yeah.
If you can find the right timing on doing this, it is actually somewhat doable, but it's not.
That's
that
okay
great.
when you run the bottom lane. Like the bottom lane, it's not that hard just to slip off and go into the small tri-camp. I'm sorry for the top lane because he's Radiant side.
Pros turn to ban.
But yeah, bottom lane, you just have to walk too far away, and you just can't be an influence in the lane then.
I think this is a snaking hero for them anyway. The times that VGJ Storm have played Enigma, they've put it on snaking, and he plays this like aura style build where they get a lot of teamfight items like Greaves, Pipe, maybe even a Crimson. And maybe that's the game plan here from VGJ Storm. They're like, okay, you guys want to play Chen Ursa? Chen kind of needs to 5-man. Ursa's not that great at it. We're just going to beat you at that game.
Yep. They banned out the Drow Ranger, which was a combination that was run previously. Having the Drow and the Enigma together gives such insane pushing power when the full army of conversions are up. And it's just VGJ Storm.
Yep. Now, what do you grab here for for solo? I already feel a bit weird about this opening. I don't feel like VP accomplished much with this first 2. They didn't really gain... obviously, their second pick, so they added disadvantage in the beginning of the draft with having to show more than the opponent and get counterpicked, but this opening doesn't sound appealing to me, the Chen Ursa. There's the Venge that we were talking about.
Yeah. We thought that was what they'd pick up in the second point and then like be a little bit more open for where they want to go, but it's the counter, it's the Enigma. It's the Enigma controller. That's what they required.
Yeah, Silencer got banned by VGJ Storm, so this is one of the secondaries that can deal with the Black Hole.
Yep.
And...
it's actually really problematic too, because even as Enigma, it's like, oh, I have a BKB, nothing counters me. Oh, you swap.
Well, until you get farmed enough and have BKB and Lincolns. And the reason I'm talking about that right now as a possibility is that, first of all, Enigma generally gets good farm.
Yep.
But secondly, it looks like the type of game where if VGJ Storm do okay in lanes, I don't see VP pushing high ground yet. Not with these heroes. Like, it's not... They're not going to just force their way in against Midnight Pulse and start taking barracks in this game. I don't think it's going to work like that, especially not if Snaking gets a bit of an aura build where maybe he plans on the Lincolns later. It's also possible he just accept, you know what, if you guys want to counterpick my Black Hole, I'm going to be playing as that full-on aura bot and not even plan for getting a Lincolns eventually. Just get the Greaves, get the Pipe, get the Crimson, get a Shiva, you know.
Yeah.
Just go in there, tank up, and if Venge dies, that's when you Black Hole.
Oh, we have Crystal Maiden.
There we go.
You are on the money, as always, Synderen.
It was a bit later than I thought. 1 pick later, to be exact.
Well, both right for the CM and the VS. And Pugna.
Good pick.
As that counter.
So there we go. Now VP are looking like they can push.
Yeah.
At the time, it looked a bit iffy, but now that they actually have the Pugna to blast away the towers and have the Netherward against Necro and Enigma, this is a really good pick. I love this from VP, and I think... they might have come to a realization after their last couple of losses that in their games they have picked some good cores, but they just haven't felt like they could end the game sometimes. They had a game yesterday against Pain that they lost where they had a super farm TA and Void, but they just couldn't end the game against Alchemist. And earlier today they had a
which game is it I'm thinking about? They had another TA game actually with no one.
Yeah, that was the one versus against VG. Against
VG
Lena.
Yeah, he was against the Lena, and they were against IO Gyro, and the fights didn't go that well, and they just couldn't finish off the game. So, well, that's a really good Phantom Lancer pick to respond. Virtus.pro have really bad heroes against these PL clones, so...
And they needed a way to get into the back line, because right now, like VGJ Storm, like the jump is there, but normally it's pretty obvious just to go into the fight with a black hole. But Phantom Lancer, he creates the chaos factor that's been so prevalent through almost every single game in the group stage.
I think if you're VP now, you just accept the fact that you're going to lose this game if it goes late. I don't think... I kind of look at this lineup and all I see is...
You commit to a hard push then? Like
it almost doesn't matter what they last pick. It's like, how are you going to win late game against Enigma PL in this game? It's really tough. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's always possible to win with outplays and perfect itemization, etc. But it's really hard. I think at this point, you need to play to the strengths of your lineup, and you need to say, okay... We have focused on this timing between 15 and 30 minutes where our lineup is strong and PL is not at his peak. And if that timing fails, things are going to get real hard.
How do you like Luna's these days? Because she's got really good clearance in this game. With the aura stack up that VP could work with, is that enough to actually break early on?
I think she's too weak against PL. I think the last pick also needs to be able to deal with PL to an extent. It doesn't have to be like, let's beat PL late game with an Ember kind of hero, but someone who can somewhat deal with the PL early mid game. So something like a Gyrocopter that we saw in the past from VP. Now, they don't have the IO to work with it, but just that kind of hero where it feels like, okay, we're going to go together, we're going to team fight you, we have strong team fight, and one of our heroes also deals with PL.
I suppose I'm also acting on the assumption, like, where is the Ursa and the Pugna going? Is this going to be an off-lane Pugna, the safe lane Ursa, and then we just look towards the mid? Because that's why VGJ Storm now ban out the Alchemist.
That is, so, they have the flexibility there. Yeah. They can put Ursa in both 1 and 3, they can put Pugna 1, 2, and 3, and technically put Ursa 2 if he has a good enough matchup. They're going to have the benefit of the last pick here, of course, so they get to choose what they think is the most important.
VGJ Storm don't have enough time for this, but they just go tiny. Another popular hero of the tournament, and that should wrap up the lane. Sort of. Wait, is that actually a 4 Enigma then?
It could be a 4 tiny.
A 4 tiny.
MSS loves this hero.
How much do you just think this is going to be a 4 tiny so they can toss Enigma into a black hole? I don't require the instant blink dagger.
I'll be 100% honest with you and say that has been 0% of the consideration. I actually think they didn't even think about it. What they want the tiny for is they want a hero that can, first of all, be strong early on and in fights so they can just get through that stage of the game that they need for PL to come online. And with the heroes that VP have shown right now, MSS can actually be super annoying in the mid lane by tossing enemies from mid into the tower or into the enemy hero in the mid lane. So it's also like a player preference thing. I could definitely see this working out very nicely for VGJ, or sorry, yeah, VGJ Storm. But VP, they're running out of time. I don't know, man. This seems like a really difficult pick. I'm not sure what they're going to end up with.
It's a Doom.
You may now select.
Well, it fits the bill of 5-man. Let's go.
Yeah.
He's going to buy auras, he's going to Doom that Necrophos, and they're going to try to end this game. No one on Pugna, Pasha on Doom, and Ramses on Ursa. This is probably the least late game VP lineup we've seen all tournament.
Yep.
I think if this game doesn't end where VP takes it minute 40, I don't think they can win. I actually don't think they can win the game. So there's nothing against PL, more or less. And what I like about this is that VP, it looks like from this draft that they've identified the weakness that they have, and they've identified the strength that they have. And they are just all in on their strength and trying to make it work. And we've seen VP before play timed lineups like this where they just crush. Like, they do well in the early game. That's something this team is very good at. And they know how to end games when they have the tools they need. So from my perspective, I think VGJ Storm has more margin for error. Yep. That's why I'm probably favoring them in this game, because if they just do fine, they'll eventually reach a point where I think VP will struggle.
But can they weather the storm?
But at the same time, can VP play this like really clean game where they play super fast early, take towers, pressure, get some key kills, and then finish off the game? Then that will be beautiful to watch. I think if VP win this game, it will look really impressive. So I'm looking forward to seeing it, how it goes. And it would be nice to see VP with a bit stronger form, because they've looked a little bit shaky. Not as good as people were expecting. And this team looks so amazing when they're at their best. So would love to see a bit of a step up from them. And VGJ Storm have nothing to lose. So
Well, I was one of those people that also put Virtus.pro to actually win this entire thing. I thought this would be the year that CIS can finally make their comeback, and a CIS team that looks really strong coming into TI doesn't fall apart. Because we've had the Team Empires, we've had the Virtus.pros, we've had the Navis that just, okay, maybe not the Navis, but the VP and the Empires that have looked really strong coming into TI and then have just totally fallen apart. Well, they'll try again. They're going to smoke up and head down south. So let's just get a bearing for our lanes. Resolution will be the PL on bottom. He'll be with SVG as the Crystal Maiden. Mid lane will be YS, Yawa. He'll be the Necrophos. Up towards the top lane, Snaking, the Enigma, and that leaves MSS as the Tiny. That one will be the mid Pugner. Ramses is running around as the Ursa. You know, he'll potentially sit on one of the side lanes there with Solo as well as Roger, and they found their target. The Penitent Man shall pass SVG. Well, he probably won't pass away from this one. They just keep chasing him into the tree lines. Even the clap early on. Oh no, he can't cut away from this. Ramses has the movement speed still on him. Crystal Bane's a very slow hero, and that's the GG. And well, just to watch the Salt again, let's watch the kill all over again. It's a little harsh, but at least we know our instant replay system works.
Sorry, I missed that. Can we see that again?
Yeah. Can we see it a third time? We need it a third time, please. just the death on loop.
So, Bounty Run time. Looks like it will be a 2-for-2 split. Or actually a 3-for-1 split, as VP have successfully just moved 2 heroes top all across the map from bottom. Both Chen and Ursa have placed themselves top, relocated across the map, and great start for VP. They get their first blood, they get 3 runes, and the first blood even goes to Ramses. So all according to plan for now.
Yeah, they increased that boots time. Is it the laning phase that Ramses wants, though? Is Chen with him, but they're up against the Crystal Maiden PL. That looks like a hard lane. And then you got on bottom lane, Snaking, who's pretty much by himself. I realized that MSS is actually doing an aggressive tri-lane with SVG for the moment, and letting Snaking having the space as that Enigma safe lane. And he'll be going up against Doom as well as VS.
Yeah, and they know Chen has Penitence, so there's no creep going to be coming in here until...
They're TPing already. Snaking's already leaving. Resolution's coming.
Yeah, so they want this Lancer against Doom lane so he can just doppelganger off the Infernal Blade. Very good lane counter to Doom. This Phantom Lancer hero is pretty difficult for Doom to deal with, but what VP could do, they could just swap lanes if they wanted to. They have their TPs there, not stuck here by any means.
Yeah, they just need to be happy to accept the status quo. Necrophos is going to go pretty deep onto no one. No surprise underneath the tower this early on. And no one's having a hard time finding these last. It's already 6-0 against 1-0, and he's got one more creep to go. That was not part of his original plan. And the Equilibrium's going to nudge back too, because they're heavily underneath the tower. Still no rotation, so VP appear to be happy with the laning phase.
Normally.
Yep.
And no one appears to be bored with the laning phase.
He's testing. Yep, chat wheel still works.
Ramsey's really getting up in the face. The off lane of VGJ.
So Roger gets an Alpha Wolf here, and they're going to have some extra damage, obviously, but can't really... I don't think this is a lane that they can have under control. I consider Tiny actually not that bad of a lane against Ursa. Ursa, obviously, given enough time with the Furious Wipes, can build an advantage, but this is a support Tiny that's just helping out Enigma. They're going to keep denying creeps. They're going to keep harassing Ramses. And I think Roger needs something better than this.
I think Snaking will also be very happy just to take the Alpha Wolf. Like, Roger's got to keep him away. It's too easy if you want to bring in farm as well, because, yeah, that's exactly what I was waiting for to happen.
Yum.
Yeah, okay, you want to bring me something nice and powerful that I can kill off instantly and get conversions for? Sure.
Yeah. Roger needs bigger creeps that can't be converted, and he is waiting for the camp to spawn. He didn't open it until minute 2. And if MSS manages to force Roger away here and then block the camp again, that will be really big for this early laning stage, actually. Ramses is still getting great farm, though, so that's the good news here. And now they're going to, after push in the lane, they will protect the camp. So Roger will be getting a big creep. Let's see if he gets lucky. Yeah, you see him as he wants it. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not the way that works. Tries to toss the Ursa back. One more attack will do it, though, from Roger. That was a little closer for the kill than VP probably would have liked.
You could definitely tell what MSS's intentions were. And VP, they were ready for it. They had a lane ward set up, and they were standing there in the fog, and they get that kill very easily onto MSS. So good start for VP in this game. Absolutely. Yeah. They're drawing mid more or less. They're winning top by a lot. And Doom is having a good time so far against this bottom lane. So all according to plan still for VP. As we mentioned, this will be a very timing-based game. And it is important that this early stage goes properly.
Yeah. You actually say it needs to go better than just like even. Like they need to be well ahead.
I would say so. I would say they need to win. Tiny tossing the Wildwing.
He's trying to just get rid of the Tornado. That was more of the problem on the top lane.
Good play from MSS to find that. It's super annoying to deal with.
No one's starting to get some CS, but he's still at half the CS and maybe a little bit more. Necro now with the double damage rune.
There's a couple creeps coming into his tower, so he's only slightly behind. That's a few CS, 5 CS, but he's got a couple more denies, so pretty even.
Alephus is out, Penitence is there too. MSS is holding on to his abilities for the moment, throws out the Avalanche, wants to keep Ramses away from snaking, but this Wildwing block from Roger is just so damn good that Ramses can keep up with him, and not only will he get the first kill, he'll take 2 of the conversions with him. Easiest money. Solo will also fall on bottom lane. As Resolution was able to close the distance. Looks like SVG has to just wait out. Keep away from Pasha. Critical time for this to happen as well. 10 seconds until the 5-minute runes.
Put back down. Rezo. Doppelganger.
SVG's going to be careful. He's so low on life. They know they can't contest this 5-minute rune. That's why VP are also forcing in on the top. MSS is chasing after Roger. He may have to burn the Shrine if he wants to try and survive this. They got all the armor in the world. So a toss back. MSS does not want to burn the Shrine. Almost killed off Roger, but he'll lose his own life for it.
They get all 4 runes. Here, VP. They got 3, and the last one is top unclaimed, but there's no way in hell Snaking gets in there for that rune right now with Enigma, so... Another really successful early movement here from VP as they pressure multiple places at once. Always difficult to coordinate this and get it done this well, but again, they're looking good so far, still.
Yep.
In this game. And what I'm looking forward to seeing is how they come together and hit this powerful timing when they start hitting towers. What do they look for from the Pugna? What do they look for from the Chen and the Doom? I think ideally you want the Satyr creep that you have on Doom right now is really good for laning, but you might want another creep later. Oh, actually he's laying into Resolution. He did use the Doppelganger already aggressively.
Yeah, SVG has to come over. He's got the Frost Blast to slow things down, but he doesn't actually have... It's done available yet, and yeah, Rezo can't get out of this one. Maybe he's got a little bit more life. Pasha needs to reach him with the Infernal Blade, but SVG, he's got the slow, and now actually it's a Frostbite, the Hadouken from Pasha. Reaches over and grabs the kill.
Damn, I thought he missed that opportunity. Scorched Earth just ran out, but yep, that last shockwave just connected. I think Rezo still had cooldown on Doppelganger, or he just didn't realize. Maybe he thought he was safe. He did type sorry to his teammate, so might have been like, oh, damn, I actually had Doppelganger, my bad. Top lane.
Yeah, they're chasing in. Double Hellbear Claps could go on to snaking. He's already used conversion. They're just trying to kill him off. Avalanche will do it. Clipping in Roger and Ramses. Well, it's just going to be a trade-off is all. Resolution looking to go after Pasha. Frostbite's available for SVG, but Pasha just puts on the Scorched Earth. Then turns around, actually looking for the Crystal Maiden. Infernal Blade's off cooldown. And SVG's just juking it perfectly. Nice. They can come in for another lance. Wave of Terror will arrive. Hits into Resolution. So does the Hadouken over to SVG.
That was really nice movement from SVG. Keep in mind, he doesn't even have boots. This is a boots and Scorched Earth Doom that he managed to juke with his 277 move speed Crystal Maiden in that tree lane. That was very nice.
Tiny's wrapping around
easy.
the top.
It looks easy, but it is not easy.
It was a 277 movement speed. Even on the base movement speed, it's 332. It's something that's finally going to change the balance of power in the mid lane. Vengeful Spirit and Chen both rotating in. They want to come in behind the tower, and they can do it because they got the Hellbear and the Satyr Tormentor.
This move is really good if it works. It's a super high value play.
You've got Ghost Shroud available, but Penitence, Clap, Hadouken, Drain, my lord.
That's some serious amplification, man. Penitence and Decrepify? That Nether Blast did like 400 damage after reduction. Maybe even more. probably did more. It's like a finger of death.
That's that pop power they want to bring in.
Yeah, the reason I love this play so much is that they find a meaningful way of transitioning out of the laning phase where they start putting pressure on towers. They want to play around Pugna and get this mid tower. This is probably the best play on the entire map that they had. They did it at the right time and they executed it well. Very classic crispness from VP here.
Avalanche toss going out in the Chen. The tower's already taken. No one had the Arcane Rune, so he could just keep spamming his abilities just like he's doing now against MSS. But the Scythe, it had to be committed by the Necro to keep MSS alive, but Hadouken barely.
Raindrop, raindrop.
Barely keeps him alive.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Snaking hiding in the trees up on top. Ramses wants him. Snaking will have to keep juking in the trees as Ramses just keeps popping damage on the tower hits. Down to 70. But he'll walk it off.
A crippled bear walking down mid lane. Look at that.
No one's going to find a better target. Over towards Resolution. Starts with a blast. Resolution still got Doppelganger available. He'll have to use it now to avoid the blast and Hadouken, plus the amplification that was already on him. But they're not giving up yet. That blast is back off cooldown again for no one. Resolution will be out of range, and mass TP support is coming in. SVG, have you got something to interrupt? No sandbags. It will be actually on no one, but Roger will have to take it for the team. He'll go down, and they want more. They want solo. Toss him in. Then the Nova. SVG could potentially get in front. He has to get the Frostbite up. Mango consumption will allow him to do so, but Solo breaks free, but not from the Avalanche. He's up the hill.
That was a really nice little detail from Resolution, that situation, by the way. No one was trying to pump fake the Nether Blast to bait out Doppelganger, but Resolution identified that it was not a full cast, and that the difference between a full cast and a fake cast on Pugna in that situation is really little. So Rezo, with great awareness.
They've had a new target. Pasha on the hunt. Wave of Terror will fly in. MSS doesn't get clipped by it, but it don't matter when they got the magical damage. Oh, and having that Santa inside of the Doombringer, it's like you can't kill him. He's got so much regeneration.
Oh, SVG.
Yeah.
Oh, poor SVG. Buy your boots, man. Buy those boots.
He's got the money. He's hiding in the trees. He's trying to get and buy him from the side shop.
He's not juking this one. It's not a Doom this time. This guy has a slightly bigger AoE.
It's the haste rune run.
Oh, it's going to keep the pressure up bottom here, no one. This is the next objective that VP will be looking for. They'll try to get this bottom tier 1, probably the bottom tier 2, and then transition into the mid tier 2, and then Roche. It sounds pretty methodical and straightforward, and that is the type of game you want to play with this lineup. You need to 1, 2, 3, get these towers, make the next step, because you know you're on a timer and you want to put this pressure. And they can't let up, and they're playing fast. This is a classic, very aggressive VP style. It's good to watch.
As long as they keep it up too. Enigma's getting some space up on top lane. Also decided to back off. The Observer Ward scouted out the fact that MSS was in the neighborhood, and now Necro will also find him. But it won't matter when no one's able to continuously achieve objectives on the bottom lane. Building very quickly in towards that ether lens, and with all these tower deaths, that's what's making it so quick. Ramses is thinking about defending top. But it's a very dangerous place.
They're actually smoking up. They want to take this fight. There is a TP on no one in 5 seconds.
They have swap on VS too.
This will be a really big fight if it does break out, but looks like Storm have identified that this play is coming, and they have disengaged entirely from the area, so this smoke will be essentially wasted. They do get one Observer Ward out at the very least, so always the silver lining when you fail a smoke is that you can ward. Sometimes you actually smoke only to ward, but ideally you want to get both a ward and a fight or a kill.
Just so many Observer Wards that VGJ Storm are walking under. There's one Observer Ward that MSS is standing on in the mid. Means the Pasha will never die. But Snaking, however, he may be an easier choice. Solo's going to attack from up on the hill. So they definitely reveal the fact that they were looking for an engagement. And no one's already backed off once again. This Observer Ward's paying dividends. MSS, his movements are reflecting the intentions of VGJ Storm. Pasha? Does he commit the Doom? It's the real Resolution. Yeah, he commits the Doom. He had no Doppelganger away, but now the Juke.
God, he's actually...
Has he got enough life though? Oh, no, he doesn't. Pasha turns around for the Hadouken. And Resolution gives him a tip. Well played, GG.
Real recognize real, man. That was a nice shockwave. That was I think that was a genuinely real tip. It was like, damn, that was nice.
Roshan now on the plate for Virtus.pro. And And there's very little that can be done about it. Snaking has no jump. He's gone for the Hand of Midas build, which is standard. But a 3-man smoke up from VGJ Storm. They were pretty close to the Dire Observe ward, but not in range of its vision. It's already too late for Roshan.
VP are keeping up the tempo really nicely. That was the next objective they needed. Sometimes you take this Roche before the tower, so especially if you have Ursa.
Conversions are scouting out. Solo uses the Wave of Terror. Doesn't see anyone in the trees. Ramses would love to fight. He's got the blink. Avalanche going to miss from MSS.
He played really defensively for someone who would love to fight. He would love to chicken out there.
He's got the Aegis the Immortal. He wants conversions.
It was a bad position. I think it's a good call not to fight that one. They have 4 heroes up there, but they don't have Doom, and he doesn't have his ulti. And if he jumps in there alone, he could just waste away his Aegis. They don't want to do that. It's important that this Aegis is played as a power play, where you end up getting towers with it. And the way to do that is to push out the lanes and cross down to bottom, most likely, and get that bottom tower, or the mid one. We'll see which one they prioritize. But the top tower is probably the hardest for them to take right now, and the least valuable.
They're coming in for another fight as the warding battle continues. They feel the stress coming on the top. Blame VGJ Storm. That's why they're trying to relieve the pressure with MSS pushing in the mid. Resolution still trying to finish his Diffuser Blade on bottom. He did get his survivability out of him in the Hood of Defiance.
So, all right, they do end up taking the top tower. But I don't think this was out of preference. I think they just looked at the map and realized this was the best chance that they had. So I still stand by what I said before, that the mid and the bottom tower are probably their priorities. But you looked at how far up the waves were pushed, and you just got to claim what you can. Yeah. So they're still strong here, and the Radiant weren't interested in taking this fight. Did they get a trade? They did get the mid tower, right?
Yes, they got the mid tower, and Resolution's adding pressure to bottom.
It's not really that great for VP what just happened. It's not even, I wouldn't even consider it a win when you lose the mid tower like that.
And VP was still able to get 3 of the bounty runes, making 4 of the bounty runes. Almost the kill onto Resolution.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that hood, he would be dead right now.
Yeah, Ramses couldn't.
Roger and Pasha coming over, snaking. He's got Black Hole available. He may actually have to use it. Starts Malphus over on Doom, and here they come forward. Resolution wants to fight, and with letting it go, SPG gets rid of all of the units that were available for Roger. It's a good feed, but at the end of the day, it's still just Chen and his army falling.
Yep.
Virtus.pro pressure is still coming down.
It's a big win for VP because they got all 4 runes. That's worth it. You lose Chen, you lose his army. He'll get a new one pretty fast, and putting this pressure, getting the economic advantage is more important. And even though they lost that hero, they forced all of VGJ Storm up there to take that fight, and look how the lanes are placed now. Ramses has pushed bottom lane all the way into the tier 2, and they're pushing the mid lane also into the tier 2 and going to start blasting it now with no one. So they will accomplish what they're setting out to do, which is claim all of these towers.
Yeah, that's why Necrophos is standing back there to try and hold them back. You'll have to battle through the Nether Ward. You'll be able to farm it up in just a second. Solo is going to find Resolution. Pasha's looking for his target. And, well, the swap back. They've got Doom available, and Resolution. Get Doom, Sonny Jim. He's running back behind the tier 2 tower with the Wave of Terror. They have the damage to bring him down. And he's the big one. He'll buy both of his Blades of Alacrity, so no money will be lost here. And no denial from SVG coming in time.
Good kill.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, it's these little things, right? So VP pull their heroes toward the top. They get this PL kill, which is really valuable, but what they don't get now is the towers, because VGJ Storm were redirecting their heroes to defend both mid and bottom. Now that PL is dead, they've got this 15-second window where we might see them finish the mid tower, but the bottom one's not going to fall yet. MSS took care of pushing out that wave. And it's one of those situations like, what's more valuable? It's kind of hard to call. Like, if that PL kill is more valuable than a tier 2, I think it is.
The Fortify. They found the Necrophos. He's got his hood to give a little bit more protection. MSS coming in from the side. Avalanche and Tosh should be really nice. SPG, now the ulti's available from inside the trees. They just can't get away. The Black Hole from snaking. Full channel to be a boss. He pulled out a couple of seconds too early. Chen still on the run, but Resolution and MSS will find him on the eastern side. But back towards the west, snaking could not survive. Solo and Pasha were all over him, but SVG, a huge hero of that fight, needs to still do a little bit more as Ramses enrages up. They can't do the damage to him, so Resolution focuses over on the support hero while the rest of his team goes after the Doombringer, the hard one to bring down. Solo is slowed up, and with the Phantom Rush forward, Solo Magic Missile Wave of Terror is available. Who's actually going to die first? Is it going to be Solo or Pasha? Pasha's got the regeneration, but with Necrophos waiting, they'll toss one little creep over, and they'll finally burn through him. Resolution does finally catch up to Solo, but at what cost? Doppelganger down, the rest of the team's coming in, but he can't go for the regeneration rune. Ramses just bounces over the top of him. He'll get frostbitten up. There's no Nova available just yet, and no Scythe device available. No Scythe, Reaper Scythe available either.
He still has Aegis.
He does.
He actually still has Aegis after that mess.
He was sent back before. Now it's going to finally time out.
Yeah, that was a... I think that was the first big mistake of VP in this game that actually cost them a lot. They lost about 3,000 gold in that exchange, and the problem is the way they combine into this mid-fight, they're just overextended, they get turned around on, are in this awkward limbo between truly committing and backing off. And the Pugna just gets blown up, right? He went in on the Necrophos, but they didn't have enough follow-up power to kill him. They didn't have Doom ready. That's the spell they need for this Necro to blow him up. And when that's not there, or when Ursa's not laying into him during a stun, they can't kill the Necro like this.
Yep.
Yawari's way too tanky during the
It's going to be hard too. He just picked up a 4-staff, so now he's able to reposition. MSS has a Blink Dagger, so if he needs to, we can reposition them for him. Just start tossing away the Ursa. And they look pretty, like, VGJ Storm looked really good to start kiting the Ursa. Like, how can the Ursa always stay on top of someone unless they have, like, straight-up lockdown?
Yeah, exactly. That's what their lineup is really good at. The toss is super annoying. There's plenty of slows from the Crystal Maiden. The Crystal Maiden, Malefice, Diffusal from PL. I think we're going to be looking at a Ramses BKB. He has just queued it up. It's necessary for sure. So now they finally grabbed this bottom tower. The Kite Ground pushing here is...
They've got a lot of stuns. Like, Rod just got such an army at the moment, and at least they can chip. They can force a reaction, because Enigma's pushing the top lane with an army of conversions.
They want to start
but
blasting.
his tier 3 tower is what's important. VP know they need to win this early, so they've already come up. No Midnight Pulse available, so they can't just throw this down and defend. Blink Dagger's up, but again, no Black Hole. Without these huge abilities, they just don't want to come in close. MSS, he's tossing, snaking on the spot for some interesting reason.
The hell was that?
I don't know, but Avalanche out.
He must have misclicked. I think he wanted to blink in and toss someone else back and failed to blink or something and just tossed on the spot.
He got clipped by something.
Really nice push from VP. They already got the tier 3 tower and they're close to claiming the range tracks. They're going to bait Solo. There we go. This time they did it right.
There's the toss back onto Solo with the Scythe. They will not find the kill.
Well,
there's too much regeneration. They had the pipe up. They don't find the kill. They lose the Crystal Maiden. Solo will eventually go down. The melee racks is up. They need to bring down the catapult. They need to stop VP from continuously pushing. It's difficult when the Nether Ward is up. They can't initiate forward. Blink Black Hole is available. One more blast from no one would do it.
They're sending him back.
That rack is so low. They decrepify. They're going after him, and no one. You can send it back. The blast, it'll do the job. No one will lose his life, but a sacrifice well worth making.
That was actually so close to being perfect. You could tell that VP knew exactly what they were doing in that situation, but just the margin of half a second still. Full lane of racks. They just went up there. They were like, you guys don't have Black Hole. We have a pipe. We have a speed aura on Doom, which I don't really think made much of a difference, but I wanted to point it out because it actually, in these fights, if they do extend to a point of chase, this 12% move speed is a pretty big deal. But in that situation, with what happened, didn't really make much of one. But still, yeah, all right. Considering, okay, so this is a 21-minute game where there's a lane of racks down. Generally, that's the indication of a game that's close to ending and where one team has a big advantage. This game is still not even close to over. VP are a little bit ahead, and they needed this. They actually needed to start looking at racks already. So good for them that they got their first lane, but this Phantom Lancer bomb is ticking, and so is the Enigma one.
Yeah. And you
gotta be careful.
You'll also notice too that Resolution really wasn't involved in that. Like, he took both of the bounty runes at the 20-minute mark. He was still farming up the top lane while VP went in. VGJ Storm understand the sacrifices they need to make and just keep working towards what's going to allow them to get a kill.
It's a really hard call to make to not defend those racks. And I'm not sure if it was the right one, because they might have been able to defend the racks while throwing in 1 or 2 bodies and getting a kill. But just the fact that they choose to do this as a conscious decision where they look at what do we gain, what do we lose, is... It's not a coincidence this team is top of the group, right? They have a really good understanding of the game. Doesn't mean they always make the right choices, but it's... How to say, it's conscious choices that they make.
Yeah.
And that is very important at this level.
SVG is going to get rid of their vision. Nice southern ward. Solo's going to try and do something about it, but with Necrophos here, forced off very quickly away. They do not want this fight, but Pasha may give it to them anyway. MSS is not the target, any other target than MSS. He would love to have to Doom. He's also bringing extra control through the ensnare. That Dark Troll summoner he's got sitting inside of him.
That's a good creep now. Now they have the solution for the black hole through him as well. So both the Doom and the Venge will now be able to stop the black hole. Potentially the Chen.
Snaking is very close to his BKB, but obviously that's not going to help him in this.
Roche is up in 20 seconds. All right. This move is really important, and VGJ Storm are taking it without their Phantom Lancer. If they run into a big cluster of heroes, this is a disaster.
Pasha. He's right on top of him. They'll drop down the Sentry Ward. If they can kill off Pasha right now, this is the biggest opportunity they could have asked for. Doom, he's got such life, but that can be turned against him, and they have enough, barely, to get through the Doom.
And that was without using Black Hole, so this means that Black Hole is available for Roshan.
Roshan spawned.
They just pinged it with snaking. Yep, it is up.
Both teams
40 seconds. 40 seconds on the Doom. VP need to delay this so they don't lose the Roche. They don't need to claim it themselves in this time. They just need to make sure that VGJ Storm don't take full control of the area, because they want to fight there later. They want to get this Aegis and Cheese to go for their second lane. And right now, well, VGJ Storm, they don't seem to have show too much intent on even get wards out there.
Well, they're still missing their big items too. Like, you're about to finish the BKB over on snaking. But Ursa's still building his. He needs a little bit more money to grab it, so...
I don't know if this BKB is that good this game, actually, for snaking.
You would have preferred him to get like a Lincoln straight up? He's getting both.
Because like the problem is, what does this BKB actually block? It doesn't block Doom, it doesn't block Swap, and it doesn't block the Troll Trap. And those are the three things that are the problem to begin with anyway.
Yeah. I
mean, you really want to get a BKB, but I just don't know if you want to get it in this order. Like, maybe his classic Aura build would have been better and just accepting, okay, it's hard for me to Black Hole, but this way we can maybe just ball into the fight and actually take it head on with a pipe.
They smoked up pretty close towards the creep wave, but the vision should have dissipated in time for VP. Their positioning is so good. Ramses, MSS jumps in. He's going after the Roshan with a toss down. Roshan will go down. It's taken by the Dire. Ramses has the Aegis to the Immortal. So VGJ Storm don't get what they're looking for, but they are into the backlines after Solo. The Doom is on the Necrophos. Snaking cannot find the opening. He's been sitting back for a long time. Now he BKBs up, looks for his target. Ramses is it. Solo doesn't actually have the mana for the swap, and Snaking is just coming towards him, and he wants Ramses. He's still not burning off that black hole. He can't do it. In fact, Ramses will just kill him. Ramses just standing his ground. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. That's why he didn't want to pop the hole. Necro, he'll chase down no one. Scythe is not up for 5 more seconds. But it won't matter when he can physically do the damage. MSS can't toss back Ramses. The clap will slow him down, but the double buybacks are coming in. Ramses ready to fight. Enrages off the Frostbite. Resolution will join the fight as well, and they need more. Ramses already has a triple kill. Somebody stop this Ursa at the moment. You've got the Blink Dagger available. Tiny will toss him up with the Avalanche. The stuns are there. They bring him down for 830 gold, but there's trouble at home. They must come back instantly, and Necro was the one to do it. He actually stole the cheese in that fight. Small detail.
That is a really big detail going forward, because yes, VP do take an okay fight there and they do force 2 buybacks, but it cost them the Aegis that they needed to push the high ground, and since they didn't get the cheese, they actually don't have any meaningful advantage going into this next push. We see the fight here, so this jump from MSS, really good, right? It buys the time to allow your ward to get in position to steal the cheese. And now we see around the backline, it gets this weird fragmented state, right? You have to doom the Necrophos, but they don't kill him. He just runs away. He's out of the fight for a long time, but VGJ Storm, they're staying alive with this Enigma BKB. He's walking in. Doesn't Black Hole, like you pointed out, but they get a couple of kills, and nobody really gained much gold, and that favors VGJ Storm. They just want to delay the game, and they accomplished what they came for.
It felt like the threat all the time of snaking jumping. Like he was always sitting around. Resolution's in trouble. He'll doppelganger down and hope he's got a little bit more friends to help him out. Nearby, MSS is there. They're draining out the life of Resolution. 2 more seconds, 1 more second, and it's just 1 second too long before he had doppelganger available once more. But the chase is on from VGJ Storm. They're looking for the kill. Pasha and Solo together. The net is on MSS. And, well, with a Decrepify and Blast, the damage is high. Avalanche creates space. Hits on all 3. The space is not enough. Solo will get a double kill.
That's massive. This time it is buyback. PL does not want to buy back. Resolution was just in a really weird position. He was alone in the enemy jungle. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. Just way too over-aggressive, not respecting the threat on the map. And fortunately for VP, they had a sentry there that they placed like 3 minutes ago, and it ends up just finding the Phantom Lancer in the Shadow Blade. It pays off in a big way. They get the Troll Trap. They follow up with the Doom and Snare. And now they still have Doom for this fight that's about to come up.
Yep.
This could get really scary. The only thing that needs to be very wary of here, VP, is not getting Black Hold.
While Snaking's waiting for it. Vengeful Swap is off cooldown, and you're already seeing Solo moving very, very far back in the line. So he is that saving grace. You can spam the lances forward. And they'll need more PLs to defend this. They just charge them towards the Netherward, so Netherward will fall. Takes a little bit longer to do it. No one jumps in with his own BKB and the Doom. They just want to delete the Necro. They're able to do so, but buyback's available and Doom's in way too deep. He does have a little bit of time to save himself, but nope, not until MSS arrives. Has everyone from VP already backed up? It's like Pasha was the offering made by Virtus.pro to the gods.
They got the hell out of there.
Yeah, they did.
That was still pretty good for VP though. They get the Doom off on the Necro. They force the buyback. They full on disengage with the rest, and that buyback is expensive. The two supports that they had buyback earlier in that Roche fight, not too big of a deal. But this one, that one hurts, and it costs a lot. If Yawar gets caught again by a Doom in the next few minutes, that could be the second lane of racks just from that. Because I don't think VGJ Storm can expect to win a team fight with a dead Necro. Even if they get a good Black Hole and have the Phantom Lancer there, Rezo isn't big enough yet to carry these fights on his own. It still takes a little bit longer.
It also delayed the item. Necro was rapidly approaching the Lincoln Sphere.
Yep.
So he was never able to finish that. He had the cheese, couldn't use it. But the push is coming on bottom lane. I'm fairly certain snaking is like, I've been walking around with my BKB Black Hole for a while, and I've had 0 targets to go on in the last 2 fights. VP just do not give them the positioning for it. So they'll have a gem Doom underneath the tower. Detection-wise, I'm not really seeing anything. In fact, we just make more and more resolutions. Ramses wants to find snaking, has clipped into the corner really nicely with the wave of terror.
God.
He knows Solo's there, but resolution, just control, delete. Come on, snaking, that's your moment. Okay, no, he's got no moments. He's got no teammates. They're leaving.
They were so not ready for that. Ramses just immediately identified the right PL. He just jumped for it. Doppelganger cooldown, let's go. Straight for the kill. And that happened so quickly that VGJ Storm were not in a position to even save him. That's a ballsy jump, and that paid off in a big way. Wow, that was really nice.
Yep. Virtus.pro. You wanted them to be aggressive 30 minutes in. You did put the counter on him, however. 45 minutes in, if VP haven't won this game, then they may be in a little bit of trouble.
They're finding so many good kills in the last few minutes. Like, these core kills, they are big. Necro kill. Now they found the PL. It adds up, man.
Enjoying the Aghanims build from Solo. Got Vlad's drums now going into Ags.
He's farmed as hell, actually. Wow.
Yeah. He's got more net worth than the Tiny has, but
this is probably the richest Solo will be
cores.
all tournament. He's loving this. Like, thanks, Roger, for playing 5.
Jump up. Snaking was looking for the Black Hole. Not going to get... Well, actually looking for a Maleficent, not even a Black Hole. And VP bailing once again. The fight is not favorable for them, and they're not giving VGJ Storm any opportunities. And you now have a Desolator finish for Ramses. So Basher, BKB, Desolator. Doesn't have to fully complete any of these items, but a lot of them early game.
This Deso will push the base really quickly. If he ever gets in a position to hit buildings. And if he doesn't, this item, it's kind of had a resurgence on Ursa lately. Often you want to go for the Basher first just because, you know, you don't have any reliable lockdown. So if they have a saving item or if they have a blink or, you know, any, like a blink spell or force staff, whatever, they can get away. So you need that bash. But Deso on this hero hits so unbelievably hard. It synergizes so well because obviously Fury Swipe's damage type is physical. You double that damage with Enrage, and then you empower it with the minus armor and the extra physical damage that comes with it. It's just a very natural synergy in this build. And I think Ramsey's items right now just tell me we want to end the game. They want the next Roche, and then they're playing for game over. Aghanim's coming in from Venge, huge item for Solo. Getting that extra life on Venge in the fight.
It's good too. You pop VS, Enigma, you're never going to get anything off, and he needs to buy the Lincoln Sphere. I'm actually interested to see why we're not seeing Necro buy the ultimate orb. Buyback is on cooldown for another 4 minutes. Just to have something for him, because he's doing the same approach.
Yeah.
They need multiple Lincolns, protect themselves from the Doom, protect themselves from the swap.
And the Venge, obviously something to keep in mind, when you're playing Vengeful Spirit and you die, you put the negative aura on the enemy, but you also get the positive aura on your team when you have the Ags, because your illusion is still alive. This is a really big damage discrepancy in the fight that a lot of the time makes a huge difference in these late game situations. So let's see. Let's see what VP are up to. They're waiting for Roche.
I'm watching the Courier make the run. This thing's going to pick up like 3 ultimate orbs in just a second. Pasha's looking for his opportunity. The Sentry Ward is down in mid. They don't have the vision in that area, however. This is just full dodge from VGJ Storm. Still trying to find the money on the map, but without having to take the fight against Virtus.pro and still being able to push out the bottom lane. But just continuously forcing the line. And Resolution just goes for the tier 1 tower. He wants the money. Fortification's available for VP. Thought he may bait it out, but it's middle lane. Ramses just goes in. Range Rax is gone. Either they are accepting the fact that this needs to die.
I do stand corrected, by the way, just to solve the misinformation. I was just checking it myself. I was like, am I right about this? Because Vengeance Aura has been changed a couple of times. And no, I was not. The negative aura doesn't exist. The negative aura was removed, and Vengeance instead got the hunting illusion on kills.
Okay.
So that is the negative part, if you will. But the positive aura still should stay when he dies. When he has the clone, that part of it is indeed still the case. So my sincere apologies. Sometimes we're wrong.
It's okay, Sin.
I feel really bad about it.
Feels bad. Enigma has the Lincoln Sphere. He has the protection now. So they finished that up. You still actually got a BKB. That's why he wasn't spending the money. It's a BKB on Necro. There's something for him to stand in the fight. Multiple 4-staffs. Manta Style is approaching. In fact, Resolution has the money for it, but he's holding his buyback cash. And Virtus.pro are not going to force the issue too hard. The melee racks are still up. So instead, it's up to VGJ Storm. Smoke up, run forward. They want to target.
This move has to work.
Yeah, who do they find?
This move has to work. If this fight fails, they lose Roche too.
Doom's coming in. Avalanche.
Oh, no!
MSS! He misses the big hit. The Midnight Pulse is down. Solo's trying to walk back through it. The Scythe is there. It looks for the kill, but no! Vengeful Spirit, you had the hand of God. He survived through the damn thing anyway. Chen did die, but the cost is huge. The black hole is better. It's buying time for Resolution to fight and create more Resolutions. Buybacks are coming in thick and fast, but Ramses, damn, that man's so thick. So thick. Coming for another fight over towards Yawa. Cannot get the attack, however. Ghost Trap protects him, but Pasha, he arrives with a Doombringer. There goes a Necro. He's totally deleted. In fact, he walks away from explosions. Necro will die in front of the pit. Resolution could doppelganger himself away to safety and set a couple more illusions of himself in. Snaking, ready to fight, puts down the Midnight Pulse. That really hurts Pasha, especially when Solo then actually has to swap him out into the front lines. Frostbitten up, able to get the Sun over on the Crystal Maiden, and Solo working with Ramses. Solo, there's way too much to fight. Resolution does go down. Ramses again able to just pick Resolution out of the crowd and get the kill. But Virtus.pro trying to reset the bottom lane. They have to come back again. This fight, they may want to have it, but it looks too hard to force. Tiny is on the defense duty.
I gotta say, man, Ramses is playing so well this game. Like, it's actually incredible to watch how much he's getting out of the Ursa in this. He survives the black hole with that perfect enrage. He gets the kill afterwards on, I think he kills the Enigma, he kills the Tiny, he gets out of the fight in the end, so we're gonna see it actually a full-on replay of it here. Look at Ramses in the bottom right. He's waiting, he gets frostbitten, he's just patient, waits for the opportunity, and the opportunity is apparently over.
Yeah,
so now we're fighting at Roshan.
Crystal Maiden's right in front of Roshan. VS swapped him in, and then they got the perfect control after.
It's time for a second lane of Rex for VP, I think.
They have Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard, and it's the Ursa who's got the Refresher Shard. So that's double BKB, double Enrage for Ramses. It's scary, to say the least.
It is really scary when he's playing like this. He just has this very good understanding of when to go in and how to go in. The fact that he has found these multiple kills on PL has been super impactful on this game. Oh, is he finding him here? Oh, I didn't see him, I think.
No. Enigma is creep skipping on bottom. Pull him back in. He doesn't have conversions up yet, so he'd have to do this the old-fashioned way. The TP's back home. Need to happen shortly. It's actually Solo who's TPing and running towards the front lines. They don't have that tier 1 tower, so it'll take a while for him to get there.
Black hole is still not ready.
No, it is not.
Snaking went for the GPM talent instead of the cooldown reduction. So a lot of the times you see Enigmas go Midas and then CDR because it makes your Midas faster, so that it gives you indirect GPM. Then you have faster black hole. But in this case, he's gone for the full-on greedy, I want money build.
I love Pasha's skeleton. It's attacking the sentry one up the hill. No risk for Pasha at all. It's not just the ensnare, which is the good thing, it's the raising of the dead. They got another 10 seconds before you'll have Enigma's Black Hole ready, and that's when they can potentially fight for the swap. Instantly into Doom on the Necrophos. He can't die. They have to toss him away from any kind of attack, but it doesn't happen. Buyback is available. Doom is kind of locked in pretty deep now. Have to burn that BKB. Melee Rax is the primary target, but it will be easier when Ramses cleans up MSS. Remember, he's still got the Refresher shard available, so he can go again. The top lane of Rax did push in. No one will come back to defend this. So VP being very, very safe about this game. Remember, they win this, and they avoid the lower bracket. They guarantee themselves that upper bracket position.
That does not look like a Tiny, you know. It just doesn't look like it. He has 2,200 health. He has like 5 shot with his Deso build. Or it just jumps him, and he's gone. There's not even any reaction time there. Like I don't think Snaking can be expected to pull off a black hole in that situation. Like, I'm just not going to save him in time. VP, yep, that's the second melee Rex. They're going to start looking at top. And at this point, if you're VGJ Storm, Snaking has to come up big. I don't think there's any other solution anymore. Snaking needs to come up with a big black hole. And I think the way you set it up is actually not expecting Snaking to jump in. I think Resolution needs to make space. This Phantom Lancer needs to go in, make the fight chaotic, and make something happen.
That's real hard when his buyback's on cooldown for 4.5 minutes, because if he loses, then the game is done.
You got any better ideas?
No, I really don't.
I mean, I guess Necro could do it. Necro could go in as well. He does have buyback.
VP have to do a maypole dance, and then Snaking can actually grab him. That's what needs to happen.
Doom's ready again.
Yeah.
I still think you might have to do it. You might have to run in the Necrophos to get something started, because you can't let VP just slowly but steadily blast this tower away. The fight has to begin. And if you run in the Enigma first, it's naive to expect Snaking to pull this off. Like, somebody's got to set him up.
Yeah.
Tiny can try to do it.
Look
perhaps.
how far back
maybe
Solo
a blink toss. A blink toss could be good too if they do manage to find a key one on no one. But this is definitely one of those moments where you got to make space for the right player, and it is the Enigma that needs to carry this coming fight.
Yep. Trying to keep his conversions up. They actually do some decent damage with that talent. He went for the plus 70 idle on damage. Because if he dies, he dies. Like, 500 health isn't going to save him in this game. But he wants to keep these Eidolons alive, at least.
They keep putting down the Midnight Pulse, but slowly but steadily, VP, they're going to send back the Pugna for a full mana refill.
And they get all 40-minute bounty runes.
They get all the runes, and he's going to TP back to his team with Travels. They might not even go for the bottom bounty runes. He will do it. This is a slight moment of opportunity for VGJ Storm to move out of their base, but they seem unwilling or unable to try this.
It's kind of hard, right?
It is difficult. They have 2 lanes of Rax against them, and they're terrified that VP has full vision. So.
Oh, hello. Refresher of for Snaking. He's been putting that money together for a while, and he's going to go for an Aghanim Scepter next. So yeah, they're putting a lot on the back of Snaking to make this work. Oh, Ramses. Thought he had something. He'll burn a little bit of mana off him.
He has Abyssal. He was so close to getting that hit in on Snaking. He wouldn't have been able to Abyssal him with the Lincolns, but if he gets a lucky bash, that would have ended the game, actually. It would have ended the game if he got a bash. Because Enigma has no buyback after buying Refresher up. That might have been what Ramses pointed out. He's like, guys, if I get this kill, I don't think he has buyback.
It's buying time.
4 siege creeps.
2.5 minutes and 4 siege creeps pushing the top lane. Oh, they got to get rid of those right now. Conversion comes off cooldown in 1 second time, so Snaking can at least get rid of one of them.
It just drives off to the left.
And he keeps losing his conversions.
Follow the car.
There's just no more damage. There's so much AoE spam from no one just continuously coming out. They just can't defend it. More sentries, more orbs, anything you've got.
Aegis down.
Yep, Solo swaps out, MSS gets in, tosses the Doom, doesn't get him away up, but there's your Black Hole, catching out the 2, and he got the Vengeful Spirit as well, that's the one they needed. Pass with the BKB runs around, Refresher Orb, we go for a second round, Usher is trapped, Resolution's got the time, Ramses, Scythe down, he will fall, is there a chase? MSS, you bet your Nelly, he's looking for it, Roger, send him back, he'll have to be the sacrifice, they toss Resolution forward even further, Roger will fall down, they don't find any more, however, and have to come back. Tier 4 towns are under attack, but that's the fight they wanted. But are they going to try and push?
Of course.
They have to, right?
You definitely take advantage of this. You got 3 kills. One of them is really big. That's the Reaper kill on the Ursa. He definitely will have to buy back if you get a 5-man fight in the enemy base. You just got to make sure to take care of your side lanes. They're being drawn out right now by Resolution. They're going to put Snaking on duty for this. He could buy Boots of Travel if he wants to. After that great fight, he got a lot of gold. So he's going to take care of the bottom lane first and then head to top. And that top lane just needs one little push because that doesn't have strong creeps from the Dire.
Can they
They're heading straight down mid.
Can they slip top? Push the creep wave in and actually take the Rax on top. It would actually give them a lane of momentum in a way.
Oh dear.
They're looking towards mid. Doppelganger, well, with the Nether Blast, there's a fair amount of damage. Pasha comes in pretty damn close. Crystal Maiden's looking for him. No buyback required from the two supports.
I felt the toss.
Holding his as well. MSS in trouble. They force staff him away from the Decrepifying Blast and the Avalanche. More space created. Even clip Solo on the way through. He'll swap. It's such a huge range. MSS trapped and killed. He has buyback available. Necrophos, BKB, and TP's out. SVG, he'll need to find a nice little spot inside the tree lines, but Solo, damn, he's good. Wave of Terror gets the reveal, and Crystal Maiden, he'll have a little bit of time to think about what he's done and die. Both players have buyback, however.
And Enigma's first black hole is coming up in 60 seconds, so they are buying time. This aggressive play is buying them a bit of time. Ursa will be spawning in 30 seconds, though. Without Boots of Travel, he has a bit of running to do this. There are shrines he can TP on, so it's not the biggest jog he needs to go on, but still. The heroes will be alive, and there will be another black hole, but only one this time, if they go straight away.
He's TPing back at the moment. I think he's considering selling something else. He's got 5 gold, and now Aghanim Scepter can be purchased, but he's holding the buyback. Necro's the only one who doesn't have buyback at the moment. Aghanim isn't worth it that much. 24 seconds is the window for Virtus.pro.
Radiant's top barracks.
And they already clipped the range racks. I don't think Pasha's too happy about this. He keeps losing mana.
I feel like the problem that VP had in the last fight they took in the Radiant base was that they went for an aggressive swap. I think if they do go for an aggressive swap, they can't pile on the guy they swap in, at least. They have to only send Ursa on him, and that Ursa needs to use Enrage, because then they can't really BKB black hole him, right? Like, then I guess you catch the Ursa and you black hole him, but he doesn't die in the Enrage, and if you want to black hole him twice, he can buy back and end the game. So I think you just go for a swap, Ursa kill, and then take the fight from there. We'll see if that's what they do.
Wave of Terror reveals his position. They ping it out. This is VGJ Storm going for a full wraparound. They got 4 heroes smoked up. The Observer Warden Sentry inside the base reveals that no one is home. So VP is just going for the Megas. And VGJ, they know. They're out of position. They're going to lose their lane of racks. Mass TPs come back. Fortification will buy them a little bit of time as Snaking. He's wrapping around the back. They see where Solo is. They'd love to have a crack at him. And Snaking, is it worth it? The Lincoln Sphere's already going to break on him. They throw out the Penitence. And then swap. They pull him in. And it's the BKB. But it's instantly. They doom up the Enigma. Buyback's available. And this is now the chance. They turn it around, but you've got that melee rack's gone. So Megas are already up. VP, they achieved their objective. Solo will die in the back lines. Remember, you've always got a second Solo. And he tries to swap himself to run out through the front door. That won't be so possible, but Virtus.pro, Megas are theirs.
Really nice. When they get this one opportunity to catch Enigma, that's obviously a great play too. And Snaking in this situation just a bit too far forward. That's the one hero that VGJ Storm cannot afford to get caught first, because it takes their entire counterplay away. This guy has been the counterplay in the previous 2 fights, and if he is the one that gets jumped, sure, you've got a buyback.
And he just got jumped. BKB has to black hole, but there's no one else around him. It's buying him time to get the Blink Dagger off cooldown and then jump out. No, he didn't. He didn't blink, so MSS will arrive. More supports coming in, and they have to kill Ramses now, even tipping him for an extra victory. No Enigma for 100 seconds. No black hole. He'll have Refresher when he comes up, but he'll have his black hole almost by the time he comes up.
Okay, this is bold. I like it, but it can also fail.
Roshan's up.
BP will play this 5-on-4 fight. They know Enigma can't come back, so they will get the Roshan and they will go for the high ground push. But if something goes horribly wrong and Ramses dies, he will be without buyback for an eventual counter push from VGJ Storm. Still, you got Megas, you got Aegis, you got Cheese. This should not go wrong in this stage.
You can actually just give him both the Aegis and the Refresher orb, so Ramses has all the security he requires. And what's he going to take? He'll take the Aegis, and no one has the Refresher shot.
I think he'll give it to Doom.
Oh, yeah. That would make sense. But then again, Doom doesn't seem to have enough mana during these fights to actually get a double Doom off.
If he has full mana, he has more than enough, but he needs full mana.
Yeah, Resolution keeps burning it.
Where's the shard?
Ramses, he's got a license to kill, wants to move forward, and here's your already illusions from PL running forward, and Ramses going for the GG. Going after the tier 4 towers. It's the last thing that's really left as objective-wise to take. And he just makes the buffer. They have to break him twice. MSS jumps in, can't find the toss. Too many targets around him, so he holds the combination. Solo is a real deep swap, but it's perfect. Necrophos is deleted. Solo will die for the cause. No, he won't. Decrepify saved his life, and the Hand of God too. This is the game. Virtus.pro, they will take game 1 and ensure themselves an upper bracket position in the playoffs for TIA.
Oh, it's got to feel relieving. They were looking really good in this group early on. I think they were 7-3, and then it pulled back to 8-6, and it suddenly started looking a little bit scary. And this game, that's what I really like about this Virtus.pro team in general, is that they're not afraid of playing super aggressively and taking risks. But compared to one of their Achilles heels in the past, which has been over-aggression, they seem to have tamed this better with not throwing away games. Like, this is the type of game that VP would have lost a year ago, or a year and a half, or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But now they have this better understanding of, okay, how do we maintain our lead? How do we build a bigger advantage? And how do we do the target selection? For me, the MVP of this game is Ramses. I think his targeting in the fights was really exceptional.
that push on bottom lane by Resolution, like, how did he know, like, instantly as that one?
He got 3 or 4 kills, I think, on the Phantom Lancer among a decent amount of illusions. So he just found the right one, identified it, jumped in and killed it. He got the key kills on Tiny. He got the game-ending kill on Enigma.
Yep.
I don't know. It's really impressive because it obviously, when you think about Ursa, it seems easy, right? Like, you just need to jump and hit, but it's identifying the right timing in the fight and the right target in the fight. That is really difficult in this game, and I'm super impressed with VP in this. It got to that late stage that we were worried about for them, but they managed to build a big enough advantage that they could win this minute 47.
Yeah,
so.
they were 2 minutes over time, but they still reached at the end.
They got a lot of barracks in
clock.
good time. First Rax minute 21, remember?
Yeah.
They got the Rax minute 21, and that was crucial for this win.
Yeah, VGJ Storm, well, they are still #1 in the group. Nothing's going to take that away from them, but we have a bit of a dead rubber, but that means a lot more fun. The last game for VGJ Storm and Virtus.pro coming up in just a second. We're back for what could be the final game of Stream 2, depending on what happens with tiebreaker situations and other results. But for now, we'll say this is it. VP versus VGJ Storm. A bit of fun, Sind. A bit of fun. Both teams have already got what they want.
VP might want this win, actually. They might have something to play for.
Is this so they go into like the second position?
Yes, so I can tell you the hypothetical. So right now, VGJ Storm first place in this group, no matter what. Virtus.pro currently 9-6. Secret is 8-6, and then a really close game with Newbie. But let's say Secret win both their games and go 10-6. VP's win here would put them 10-6 as well, which would tie them with Secret.
And they went 1-1.
Head-to-head, they're 1-1, and I don't know beyond that who would win the tiebreaker, so I'm not 100% sure. But the difference between being second and third is if you are third, you can be picked by the top team of the enemy group, or the other group rather, because first place in each group picks between third and fourth of the opposite group, and that means VP cannot be picked, but rather will get the third or fourth team from the other group, which will more than likely be OG, because you can assume that VGJ Storm would probably pick, or rather LGD. You could assume that VGJ Storm would pick OG. So it's like, I don't know if VP won it or not. I don't think maybe they don't think about it too much here, honestly, and just play their game and try to prove a point. I feel like they're that kind of team that's like, we'll play whatever
and it's still reliant on Team Secrets. It looks like Team Secret and Newbie are having a great game at the moment. So if you want to bounce around and watch all streams at the same time, I suggest you do so.
The alternative for VP is that if they lose, they face EG or Liquid. So they can have EG or Liquid, or they can try to win here for their chance of facing LGD. What a lovely choice they have. Fantastic. Okay. Well, let's look at the game and see what ends up happening, because there's still hypotheticals with tiebreakers and stuff, like you said.
Yep.
We don't even know if the two 10-6s would favor VP or if they're third no matter what, if Secret gets them.
Let's just let things play out.
Let's play. Let's play some Dota.
Yep.
So, VGJ Storm first pick Necrophos again. This time Pugna is banned, however. And VP will pick Weaver Willow into a Nyx. This Nyx pick is really good. He's great against both heroes. So, Spike Carapace is the name of the game against Weaver. Obviously, when you are targeted by the Swarm, you can stun the Weaver by using Carapace. When you see Weaver Shikuchiing in, you can Spike Carapace, even in Vendetta, and Weaver just gets stunned out of nowhere. And that can really catch you off guard and get you killed. Similar logic against Dark Willow. Spike Carapace, uncontrollable what Jix hits when you use the Bedlam, and you can run into Brambles on purpose to stun the Willow. You have Mana Burn, you have stuns. It's great. This is a great Nyx game against these two heroes.
Do you put him in, like, it's just find Roma as a 4 position, just as the Roma?
Probably. Probably a 4.
Turn to ban.
I think it's one of MSS's better heroes. I would not put it in his top 3, but he is definitely capable on Nyx. They do have the option of putting him in position 3 on snaking, but I don't like the hero in a quarrel so much. And the reason is, the way Nyx ends up playing the game anyway is kind of as a scout, right? You get Vendetta, you start hunting for kills, you look around. So what do you really contribute with the 3 position farm? Because you can't go and take it. You don't want to show. So if you put it on a 3 player, he ends up becoming the 4 anyway. And the 4 player will need to play a hero that can take over the 3 role. You can do that dynamic, but then you need to make sure that the 4 you pick fits the bill. So, Tiny coming in from VP.
Bring in that nice jump initiation. We saw MSS having a couple of whiffs in the last game, but it was a hard ask to try and find those openings, but he did the job for his team.
Yeah, he had a couple of opportunities to toss as well that did not go too well. I think he had 1 or 2 really good ones, and then 1 or 2 missed ones. And blinking in and tossing back with Tiny, it looks so easy when you see the play out, but you need to remember when it comes to like the camera, you need to blink over, and then you have to target back toward your ally. So you need to have the camera in the right position, you need to catch the enemy hero when he's not turning and running away, and your moment of opportunity is pretty short. So it's not that easy.
So move right, move left, and somehow put it all inside your camera, and they don't have the option to zoom out like we have.
No.
Well, VGJ Storm?
That would make it a lot easier.
It really would. Remember there used to be old mods for that kind of stuff, not in Dota 2. In the old Dota. I think it actually ended up being claimed as a hack.
That sounds likely.
Yeah. It was.
That is a long time ago.
Yeah, when I was young. And when you were...
Young. Don't say it.
Okay, I'll move on.
Good.
Give me a pick, VGJ.
So Necrophos against Tiny is a matchup that goes both ways. we've talked about this on a previous cast, how Tiny dies to the Necrophos Reaper really easily, but at the same time, Tiny also has this ridiculous magic single target burst that can catch Necro and kill him, especially in Ghost Shroud. Last game, they were on the same team, so we didn't really get to see that dynamic, but this time around, surely we will. Tiny also a great pick in general for no one. He's a very gifted mechanical mid lane player, and Tiny is one of the heroes that can truly demolish its lane if played correctly.
Oh, we have an Undying pickup from VGJ.
Interesting.
They want to get a little bit more aggressive. Undying and Necro has been a combination. We've seen... it was Windstrike, actually, running that one a couple of times. And so back from Virtus.pro will be the Oracle.
Yeah. Oracle, a good hero against Necrophos. You can purge Ghost Shroud. You can use Fate's Edict to block Reaper's Scythe on the target. And if Fate's Edict is on cooldown, you can, of course, extend their lives with the False Promise. As far as the rest of this goes, I don't consider Oracle particularly good against Nyx or Undying. So it is confusing me a little bit, because you have to consider that one of the other options VP had in this situation was to pick the Shadow Demon. That is also really great against Necrophos with similar logic. You can cast Demonic Purge, then you can't Ghost Shroud for 7 full seconds. You can disrupt the guy who gets Reapered, and it fully ignores the entire damage. And you're, in many ways, a stronger laner than Oracle. But it depends what plans VP have. They might have something up their sleeve for their last pick here that they're setting up for.
You just throw in like the Husker pick up at the very end, and you're like, hey guys, you've got nothing but magical damage, no physical yet.
Yeah.
But VGJ, like the last pick is Virtus.pro's, so they don't have to commit to such a insane strategy.
There are a lot of really crazy combinations with Oracle when you do have last pick. So that's a fair point that maybe Shadow Demon couldn't really fit the bill that much in that regard. Like you can go Alchemist with the Oracle. See, that's really strong. You can go for the Huskar that you mentioned. I feel like there's a third hero that's eluding me. DP used to be a hero that VP played in the past. I don't think they're going to do that because Ramses will not be playing Tiny, more than likely.
Nature's Prophet. We're going to increase the push power. We're going to increase the global presence. We're going to increase that movement with the Nyx Assassin. We're not full team global, but Nyx is normally the great scout to get that Wrath of Nature damage in.
That is a really bad lane matchup for Oracle. You have no good way of dealing with the Treants. So that's what Furion is all about in the laning stage, is getting the Treants, getting them running at supports or the core, zone them out, take the free farm. And Oracle does do well against it, but maybe VP can get a core in this lane that does. Weaver's somewhat okay. Tiny is very good, but I think they want the Tiny mid. And last time we saw VP play, I believe they did play Weaver and Tiny. They had Tiny on Pasha and the Weaver on Ramses. So obviously those two can technically be interchangeable, but I would rather see the Tiny if it goes on no one or Ramses. I would like to see it on no one, and then the Weaver can go to Ramses or Pasha, and then they get their last pick. Let's see. VP have a lot of time left, by the way. We haven't talked about that so much. The bonus time is gone from VGJ Storm. They are digging in deep for a ban. They end up going for the Alchemist that we did cover. And that means Huskar is in, man. And Huskar looks real good if they don't pick the right hero right now.
And VP will have all the time in the world and then last pick to work out if they want to go down that road.
Yep.
And VGJ Storm have 18 seconds.
VGJ Storm do not have physical damage right now.
Yeah, they need something. They need something that's going to be real strong. Or they can just combo with the Nature's Prophet. Either way, like it's...
Virtus.pro's
Answer, Arc Warden. Well, they get their global push. Everyone try and protect themselves in a bubble.
Arc can deal with Huskar pretty well. Obviously, you have the magnetic field against the tower push. You can itemize Silver Edge relatively quickly, or you can go for a double Necro book build, something like that. There's different solutions to the Huskar. I don't think VP is going to go down that road now, actually. I think this kind of...
It blocks it off.
It doesn't fully block it off, but it might make it tricky. And I think there's other heroes that VP will be looking toward that might be great this game. So you see the enemy cores here being these like relatively fragile ranged heroes, all three of them, Necro, Nature's Prophet, and Arc Warden. So perhaps we could look towards something like the Storm Spirit for no one. And then they would be putting the Tiny on Pasha and the Weave on Ramses.
Yeah.
They could be going something like that. The only real stun on VGJ Storm's side being the Nyx. What else is in the bag of treats here from VP? Invoker, I don't know how much I like in this game. I don't think that's the way to go, although Quaswex could definitely be interesting against these heroes. Yeah. I think it's the Storm or Ramses hero. And a slight off chance on the Huskar, but I don't think they're going to go that route.
He's a curveball if you go for that.
Does Huskar own the Arc Warden in lane? Maybe he does. Like, this is what I'm thinking. If you pick Huskar and put it mid, like, who do you put against it? Necro loses that lane.
Yeah. Nature's Prophet won't go there.
Nature's Prophet could go there. He could go mid and they could put the safe lane Arc and an off lane Necro to solve that problem. We'll see what they do.
It's a Gyrocopter.
Okay,
it's an IO-less Gyrocopter. No one would predict this.
Indeed. He's playing it. Okay.
That was unintentional.
That was intentional. So, okay, I was not expecting this whatsoever. This is really surprising for me. But it's an absolute VP classic. It is a hero that has a lot of AoE and magic damage potential, which is great against the Necrophos. Granted that there is the Nyx he's playing into, so Spike Carapace will be a problem. But they can buff up this Gyro really nicely with the Oracle Protection, and he can probably deal with the Arc Warden relatively well. The Flak Cannon, the Call Down in the back line, and the general itemization that Gyro goes for, and the type of game, the pace, might be what VP are looking at here, that we don't want to go super late here. We don't want to face a late game Arc Warden. What can we get that wins us the fights and lets us push early?
Yeah, but is Gyrocopter really that? Like we've seen... Have we seen any Gyrocopters which have been IO-less that have also won?
I don't think we've seen any that's been IO-less.
Yeah.
There have been games with Gyro without IO, but we haven't cast them.
Yeah.
This is definitely the first one.
First for us.
Yep.
So no one gets to prove it. Ramses does take the Weaver, so it will be a tiny off lane.
Yep.
They could have even switched it around the other way around, so like no one could still play the tiny.
And Ramses Gyro?
Yeah.
I don't think they like that so much. I think no one plays the best Gyro in the world. Or at least one of them. It's always this debate, who's really the best, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard to make absolute statements, but he is really damn good on his Gyrocopter. He was destroying on it in the past before it got nerfed. And even after the nerfs, surely he has been practicing his Gyrocopter. So there's probably a good reason that VP considered this a Gyro game. I'm looking forward to seeing if they can pull it off. This is a hero we haven't really seen have much success without IO in the last months.
Well, let's get our bearings through our lanes before we begin all of this. MSS will be the next assassin, heading towards the off lane for the moment. Snaking will be the Nature's Prophet. Early Blightstones are all about harassment, and he'll be trying to harass Pasha out of that top lane. No one does have the Gyrocopter for mid. SVG's roaming on his Undying, while Solo's heading down towards the bottom lane. He'll be with Roger and Ramsey, so at the moment, the aggressive try. This is normally just so you can contest the runes anyway, and that leaves Yawa as the Necrophos on the bottom lane. And that's pretty much everyone. Easy.
30 seconds to battle.
Beautiful.
Chat wheel.
It's like, I wonder how many people this year are happy to see it go at the end of TI. It's like, oh, can I have my chat wheel? No, I'm okay. I'm okay. MSS is going a long way up. He's trying to check, like, if VP or...
He's trying to get a read on the laning. And he is going to end up dropping a sentry to block the pull.
Yep. And
obviously,
Pasha's up on top.
This is a good way of counteracting Nature's Prophet, is to pull waves when it's possible and just distort the equilibrium so Nature's Prophet can't just control the lane as he wants by just denying and holding the wave back. This way you can at least try to manipulate it. But it seems like, yeah, it is going to just be a Pasha Tiny that faces this Nature's Prophet. And I think VP are pretty happy with this laning overall, to be honest.
Yeah. We'll see how the CS reflects it. There's no real winners in the mid block. And the Necro and the Undying on the safe lane is going to be pretty difficult to really get on top of for Ramses and Roger. And, well, it's not stopping Roger. Wants to come in and start being that full channel nuke harassment into the Necrophos. He's brought 6 tangos to try and deal with this, however.
Roger has 8 tangos on a flask on position 4 Willow. He is ready.
Ready to fight.
He's ready for this lane to be a bloodbath.
That's efficiency tangos. As long as Undying keeps popping decay on him, that's efficiency tangos. Get a stick, even better.
Yep.
Pasha seems like how are you meant to stand this lane when you got a Blightstone Nature's Prophet against a 0 armor Tiny? This doesn't seem like a fun place to be.
It's a tough lane, for sure. Oracle doesn't offer much help to begin with, but when they get level 3, their spell combo is extremely potent. They can definitely kill together by just combining their spells. Even a full HP Prophet will die to Avatos and then 2 Purifying Flames with a Fortune's End. So See how that goes down. So far, so good. Top, though, for VGJ Storm. They're definitely winning that lane with Nature's Prophet. Bottom lane, Ramses is actually dropping really low, too. Oh, nice double stun top. You like it, camera?
Yeah, you're making me jump, man. You're making me jump.
Oh, bottom lane, bottom.
Damn you, Send. He's now playing with me.
Mid, actually mid, actually mid.
Yeah, I'm watching it, man. Resolution's killing off no one. God, the cock of the world. Thanks, Send.
You're welcome. Nice solo kill there from Rezo. Got him caught off at the top side with a big creep wave, so had a huge
wants
advantage.
to work with Ramses, going after the Necrophos, and he's just amping up the damage, waits for the Ghost Shroud to dissipate. Even with a bug on him, they can't find the kill just yet. As SVG will punch Roger out of the lane.
This is a really big win mid for Rezo, by the way. Getting this level 1 kill, or rather first blood kill, at, I think Rezo was level 3 and no one was level 2. And he just chased him down with his spells on the cliff, and he had a creep wave advantage. Look at the net worth between them. It's a full 300 early on, and that means he gets his second Wraith Band, so now the damage favors him once again in this laning stage, and he will be going Aquila.
Donkeys are about to die.
Oh, that's big.
Roger cuts through.
That is big.
No way to fortify it. It did do his delivery into the mid lane before it, but just before the 3-minute mark, it drops.
Now the lane is kind of evened out again. Courier snipe is very important for this mid lane. It was ground courier, so the respawn will be coming in earlier, but
Resolution gives him his thanks. Ramses has to be a little careful when he's got 12 decay hits. It's 380 life he's playing around with at the moment. They'll get rid of the bug off the back of SVG, and with the Bramble Mage down, it won't matter. Ramsey just repositions. That's still so much life to go through. He's got 380 himself. SVG could just tank everything. And then allow Necro just to run back up the lane, force him back out again. Solo will die up on top lane. That never-ending harassment of snaking just coming to fruition. He body blocks with the Treants. He's just left and right. Pasha decides to turn around, try and fight with his avalanche toss combination. Snaking has the life because he has the stick charges, but Pasha will walk it off. And with the
teleport, canceling it. He wanted to look for no one.
No, they just don't stop on this bottom lane either. No one was dropping down low. It's the Spark Wraiths that no one was fighting into. He went underneath the tier 1 tower in mid.
So top 3 net worths currently are sitting on VGJ Storm, and it's just these laning matchups that they have. This bottom lane is pretty volatile, honestly, with this Undying Necro against the Willow Weaver. When Weaver starts getting a couple more levels, it can get very scary, but for now, they're holding their own with the Necro and getting that economic advantage. The top lane, I would very clearly just favor VGJ Storm in based on matchup. They don't have the solution for the Nature's Prophet in this lane just yet. Tiny is okay, but he will still be losing with the Nyx involvement. And the mid lane, I don't know. This is a matchup that I feel like I've never seen in my life, so I'm not quite sure what to expect. I feel like on paper, it's a slightly ARC-favored matchup. But
right now, as far as the net worth goes, there's a little bit that separates them. It's 300 net worth in favor of Resolution. Not much more than that. Bounty runes being gathered up. Virtus.pro will end up claiming 3 of them. There was some kind of contest for bottom. It was Roger, the Soul Rip, and the Decay. 8 HP he drops down to with the stick charge on cooldown. But he barely survives. Meanwhile, up on top, Pasha will miss the hit. Spike Carapace returns a little bit of the damage into Solo, and that's what Snaking and MSS try and capitalize on. Snaking knows he can't stand around for too long. MSS is giving him the heals, and Pasha just cannot get the kill. They'll trap him up. He'll cut free. That's with the Quelling Blades. No regeneration from this. While on bottom lane, again, Ramses battling into SVG. Are they going again on top? Yeah, they are. Start with the nuke, a little bit of heal comes in, but with the avalanche and the secondary nuke from Solo, Pasha's able to get the kill.
Straight back the other way. He needed that one. He definitely needed that kill. It's going to help him a lot. Hearing a call down mid?
Yep, they are. Need to make a couple of clones as just Resolution tries to hold the ground. They have the control available, and now extra help. Snaking able to get the trap onto no one. So Resolution's clone may finish the work that the original could not. And another Spark Wraith, Roger. He won't go down to this.
And even though it's the clone getting the kill, the XP is not going to waste. Snaking TPing in gets all the XP. He is level 6, minute 6. on this Nature's Prophet. Might see him use Wrath. He will.
Yeah,
indeed.
he will. Solo's trying to protect himself for the moment, so Wrath of Nature can bounce through. Actually doesn't even reach him, and then he gets a regeneration rune. Sure, okay.
Nice. How convenient.
Yeah. Bottom lane, Ramses as well as Necro going ham. SVG will arrive, gives the extra soul rip. Ramses down low. They pop the tombstone, but Ramses under the cover of Invis. They just want the information in the tree line, but Ramses has to wait out of range of the tombstone so he can Shikuchi away again. Decay's back off cooldown. It's going to miss the target. If that hit with the death pulse, it could have been potentially the kill under Ramses. But now they just turn it around. No one will arrive with flat cannon on Necrophos. Just goes Shrouds, but the missile. No one's so quick on it. Taunts his way to victory, and then you've got the Bramble down once more. Undying just can't run out of this. Forced to stand his ground. The Cursed Crown. This is Death Crown. And then mid's been taken in the meantime.
Yeah, this is the kind of rotation that's really expensive when your mid laner goes for this kind of move and there's a Nature's Prophet in the enemy team. VGJ Storm very quick to identify that they can just grab a full tower mid. I don't know if I would say that's worth it for no one in the end when he loses his tower like that.
Wait for it.
Oh,
got him.
Give it to Solo, I guess.
I don't think that was a choice.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, that was, they had it with a tree toss as well.
Yeah.
His spike was gone. He was dead to rights. Resolution's going to move towards the top lane now.
Bottom tower.
They burned a raindrop that way, though.
True.
It's nice value. Oh, Pasha.
Yeah.
He's out.
SVG's nearby. They have no stuns available to stop him.
Now that's a good chat, will you?
Dire's top tower is under
Nice double damage room for no one if he wants to get involved in something. He doesn't have enough life at the moment. The Courier needs to go back to base and bring out his phase boots and every other consumable he's been waiting for.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they got all the defense in the world up on the top lane. No one's going to fight it. Spark rates on both the choke point and the trees. So they knew that no one from Virtus.pro was coming to defend it. Even the Observer Ward, they aggressively got down seeing no one's farm pattern.
Solo.
And then they just turn in towards Solo. Realizing that no one's really nearby to help out, but he won't come down the ramp. Just VGJ Storm. This game feels a lot more crisper from them than the first one.
Yeah, they have some more tools to work with in this early game. They didn't get bullied as hard on their lanes, and it's showing. The Nature's Prophet especially is having a really big impact on this game. Snaking won his lane, went mid, got kill, got tower. And now he got another kill. So he's on the money so far.
Well, he's moving to bottom lane. Another tower to claim. Roger. Looking to do a high amount of damage into the Necrophos, but that takes away his escape mechanism with the Reaper Scythe coming down. Roger gets popped, and he just wanted to stun up SVG as well, walking in that close with the Cursed Crown. Doesn't really mean much at the end of the day. Fortification will delay the push on bottom.
This tower shouldn't fall this time around. Tiny is pretty good for situations like these with just Avalanche just getting one ranged hit on these creeps to pull them away from the tower. And Solo is here to try to clean up the tombstone. No. One more hit to go. Didn't get it.
Missed it. But
that sucks.
10-minute bounty runes. You can take that instead.
Yep.
But Prophet's already starting his TP over. Ramses is waiting, but you
He's
see
not
where
getting
Nature's
out.
Prophet's going. Snake's going to take it from him. They'll lose both the runes on bottom, and well, with a quick time lapse out, MSS doesn't find the target he wants, but Resolution's here too. Puts down the Spark Wraith, which will latch. No, it will not attach itself to Ramses. He gets away from 4 of the VGJ Storm heroes.
Very smooth from VG there, though, to get those 2 runes. The way they did that. They forced Ramses away from the first one, and they stole the second one with the Nature's Prophet, and he didn't even die for it. Just got away with the Sprout. Very nicely done.
This Resolution clone's been such a pain in the butt. And then it times out so they don't even get anything for it. Snaking begins his TP scroll. Ramses knows there's no kill here. And they go again on the bottom. SVG underneath the tower would love to turn around and try and fight. Bedlam actually being popped from Roger. But with Resolution arriving on the bottom lane, Pasha has no other choice. He TP's all the way to home.
Wonder how many times he's going to say that this game until he gets stunned by Nyx.
Well, look at that.
There's absolutely no other lockdown than Nyx's stuns. Well, Reaper.
Snaking really does not want to wait for this. They have no tombstone yet. They're willing to push. The Sentry Ward, MSS will be seen here. Okay, Solo attacks him as well, so MSS knows he's seen from the hillside. If they drop a Sentry, they won't find the Observer, however. don't know if that attack was on purpose. Snaking, walking into the Bramble. Well, that was probably not as much on purpose. Aegis Prophet stunned up. No one finishes the job with the homing missile. Continues his run because he wants more. And here comes the Terror Rise.
Well, what do you know?
So apparently Snaking lagged, but he's already dead. Not sure who lagged.
Yeah,
Okay.
could have been somebody else. Oh, watch the Terrorize. There's more support coming in from the north. As they keep the run going into the call down, Resolution gets a little bit more distance. Now spawns up the clone. We're going to go Bubble Boy as Nyx Assassin with the Spike Carapace into the back lines. Tries to get Oracle, but he takes
Zero
no damage.
Reaper.
That's a very ineffective if ever I've seen an ability. 3 euros gone for VGJ Storm. Resolution's clone will finally die. The sun's up, but what do you get in return? Oracle dies. Yay for this, but you're going to lose so much here. Another Bramble down. Double stuns for Roger. And they just keep going. No one turns on the flat can, tries to get rid of both Snaking as well as his army, and he'll be successful in both. Does this feel like a chain feed? Are we playing Pub Dota right now? The Undying Tombstone gets mopped up very, very quickly. MSS just wants no one. Screw everything else. This is where the battle really is. MSS is
not getting him.
Not getting anything. In fact, he walks the opposite direction around. Back at the battle, it's Roger going down. They'll turn around for a bit of a fight. MSS has now come back into the engagement. They've got more help. MSS turns on the Spike Carapace, looking for the stun return. Won't happen. And had no mana left for the stun.
This is reminding me of classic CIS Dota. Like, what actually just happened? That was like... kills.
Kills?
So many kills. Dude, that was a fight minute 12 where there was 12,000 damage done. Do the math. How many heroes with that much health? VP did 12,000 damage. Oh, well, okay, 11.3. Like, come on. I don't know what was even happening in that fight. That was such a mess. So I think that one of the big problems in that is
here you go.
Let's watch the whole thing again.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on Yawar. Keep an eye on Yawar. So he wants to Reaper Solo and Dagon him, but Solo anticipates it and pre-fates Edicts. That was super clutch from him, seeing the Necrophos coming in. That means it's a completely wasted Reaper. He's going to end up Dagoning him to death here in the end, but like the... Oh, did he just get it on the Courier there? He actually just got on the Courier, so the Reaper made no sense at all. Okay, that's really strange to me. I'm not sure. Maybe there was some miscommunication or something. They were trying to get the kill together, but fight still going. Lots of kills. Undying comes back. Furion just TP'd into his death. He TP'd in 1 on 4.
Yeah.
Nyx was not ready. Now he's going to Vendetta, start running, but the slow is not there on no one. That was, okay.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, man.
And then the stupid run to the north. MSS is on the hunt once more. He's coming up with Yawar. And they're also TPing in more friends. So when that entire replay was happening for like the 1 minute, everyone else just went back to lanes and farms and said, all right, guys, let's get a breath. I don't think we need to keep up that level of pace. VP are going to smoke up. And oh, hello. We just found ourselves a kill. Into the Bramble. He's got 14-1 charges available, even with the Ghost Trapper. That just amplifies the damage. Roger never even got to use his Bedlam or his...
I have a feeling that Yawar is regretting buying Dagon in this game. It even made my voice crack. That's what I feel about it. Doesn't this look like a hood game to you? You're playing against Tiny, you're playing against Willow, you're playing against Gyro.
It does seem that way.
And Oracle. I'm not quite sure. Like, maybe they're experimenting with something. They know they have first place, and they're just goofing around, having some fun, and trying some builds, but I still feel like they're trying, you know, they're playing to win. They're playing their best, but maybe there's an approach here that I'm not seeing. Maybe they feel like they actually can't burst heroes without this Dagon and Necro. That is a valid concern. When you look at their heroes, their damage is actually very underwhelming until Arc Warden is found. So maybe that's what it is.
Come at me, no one.
See ya, Snaking.
MSS was waiting for it. Yes, Snaking will die on the bottom. No one's able just to walk away. Now we're baiting him on the runes. Well, that's an easy way to get your mana back, Pasha. Double bounties. And Ramses will add the pressure on bottom. Now he's finished up the Maelstrom. His push power's a little bit better. SVG walks into Roger and Solo. Remember, we are still during nighttime, 30 seconds until the daytime, and Arc Warden, he's got the homing missile on his tail. They'll put down the Bramble, and he just puts the clone, and that's with the scythe. It's actually just trying to, delay a little bit longer, and Solo does get dropped. That happens.
Oh, great
Terrorize.
terrorize.
Just sends everyone away. Snaking turns around looking for the fight, cleans out the tree line, so they see Roger, and Roger has to go into the Shadow Realm. Try and get out of here. Won't happen. Doesn't have a TP scroll, and they're tipping him while he's actually dying. Thanks, Pasha.
What a godlike terrorize that was. Oh my god. No one survived on like 10 health because of that terrorize. There was one last Spark Wraith that connected on him, but it didn't deal enough damage, and Roger just saving his big carry there. Really big save. He does end up losing his life for it, but well worth it to get no one back to safety. And they, what kills did they get? They got the Rezo kill, right? So it's actually a 1 for 2 for 2? 2 for 2, kind of, because there was an niche. I mean,
Rezo, Solo,
so
and
many
Roger
kills all the time.
Yeah. Rezo, Solo, Roger. There were the 3.
Yeah. So 2 supports for the Rezo kill. I think they're fine with that.
Dire's top tower.
It's not the biggest swing at all.
They're turning it into a push. Roger and no one aren't going to accept this, however. No one's got flat cannon. He can get rid of the entire push. Even waits for the next creep wave to arrive. So he's got all the Trions, and they're chasing down. But then again, avalanche toss. MSS gets deleted underneath the Sentry Ward. And again, this Bramble catching out VGJ Storm 1 by 1. Ramsey Shikuchi's forward, and he gets the bug on the back of SVG. Underneath the tower, Ramsey is very happy to take the hits because it means that bug stays longer for Pasha to not capitalize and take the kill. It'll belong to Ramses.
Yeah, VP are just taking full advantage of their lineup. Just honestly, just flat out being stronger right now. They can play this fast. All their heroes are online. All their heroes want to fight. This is classic VP-style Dota. And VGJ Storm is taking the fight to them because they went for a combat build on Arc Warden with the Blade Mail Rush. And the Dagon Rush on Necro. You're not going to sit back and farm and expect this to go well. Like, you have to try to fight them, but you kind of... I don't know, I think VGJ Storm's itemization and the way they're playing right now is maybe a bit too over-aggressive for what their lineup can truly perform at this stage. And VP, they're just happy to fight them. Mm-hmm. That's classic VP Gyro, man. They're like, you want to fight? Let's fight. They're going to keep doing it.
Sure. But the Orchid may cause a couple more problems. That just got finished over on Snaking. So for all the deaths he's had, he still managed to have enough money to get that. MSS looking for Ramses, hoped he was Shikuchiing around. And Ramses is already building BKB, so this Orchid will be good for now, but it won't be great later on. Rapt's Major bounces through. The Tombstone's in a fantastic position, and a double stun from MSS. There is the return stun, and they're trying to finish off the Tombstone. Ramses, he cannot time-lapse out.
All right, forget everything I just said. To be fair, though, this was a really super sick setup from VGJ Storm. So they get the high ground Tombstone, they get the Orchid reveal at the same time, which goes off in the Oracle, who was expecting to save Ramses in that situation, and the double stun from MSS. Mm-hmm. They just combined everything beautifully there.
Pasha.
They need to outplay them like this.
Found a rebuttal, though. He just exploded MSS.
And also, obviously important detail, no one was not there this time. And the call down has played a huge role in the previous fights and just spacing, slowing out the VGJ Storm team and preventing them from advancing in the fight.
Yawar may want to TP over in just a second because Avalanche comes forward, snaking. Has he got someone to Orchid, the homing missile? Something.
He does.
He's, well, yeah, he does. He doesn't help him to live.
Nope. They did find a target. Mm-hmm. Good job on that. And that's going to be a BKB for no one in 50 gold. So BKB, Drum, extra Wraith Band, and Aquila. Looking very strong in this game on the Gyrocopter. And Ramses Weaver is not looking too shabby either. He's already level 15. He got the XP talent. Love this talent on Weaver. See a lot of players take the mana break. In this tournament, it's more often than not been the XP, I believe. It helps propel you into this extreme mid-game timing. You're just so fast and so strong with the extra levels, and you quickly reach your 25 before other heroes on the map too. Getting that move speed.
MSS just out of range of the Dust, but he's in range of the Observer and Sentry. Thinks about jumping in, so Sol puts down yet another ward. Goodbye to the Radiant Sentry. It's the battle for the Invis to get in closer and fight. But they won't need it the whole way. You actually have a Blink Dagger now on Necro, so he's got jump-in initiation. Maybe not so great when, well, no haste rune for him. He's able to get through the Bramble, however. 21 charges needs to be triggered if he wants to try and survive, and he does not want to try.
Wait, I didn't see what happened to the haste rune.
I think it got denied by...
Oh, they destroyed it? Okay.
I think by Roger. I think.
Oh, he might have destroyed it with Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
Is that what it did?
I think so. There was no animation that flew towards it.
Heads up play from him. Good kill once again. Necro is just not progressing in this game. Like this dagger, okay, you know, it helps a bit, but considering how many last hits he has, he's really low on net worth compared to the other heroes of the game. Just tanking way too many deaths here. He's 3 and 5 on your
Solo.
war.
He took the spark rate. Snaking actually walks into the edge of the bramble. And that's just a simple kill for no one. His 8th of this game.
They're playing so fast, VP. They have these aggressive wards and they just run them. They're just running at them.
I thought it was VGJ Storm that, like, at the end of day 2, I remember in the back room all the talent was saying, like, VGJ Storm, they just play such a fast-paced game of Dota that no one can keep up. And Virtus.pro, like...
I mean, they're not playing slow this game either.
No, they're not.
VP is just... Like, they can match their tempo. And when they match their tempo and get these fights, their lineup is just a bit favored right now in these... Now that no one is part of the plays again, we had that one great play bottom from VGJ Storm, but that was like exceptionally good. They got everything nailed down. They got the perfect fight, and no one wasn't there. And VP are just not letting it happen again. They learned their lesson.
Yeah, they're waiting. Observer and Sentry being planted down by Roger. He saw Nature's Prophet thinking about coming down, but Snaking will bounce to the top lane instead. That bottom tier 2 tower is toast. And MSS, he found his fun target. Pasha will blink over it. Don't know if the Sentry would actually give him a little bit of vision or he just wanted to get closer towards that Invis rune faster. But he did see MSS in the river. And they're on the hunt.
Plenty of dust on VP. They have 4 of them.
It's even better when Weaver gets this. Bugs onto Undying. SVG just has no way to survive. Quick Sentry Ward revealing Nyx Assassin. Spy Carapace saves a lot of the damage, but when the scythe comes down, Oracle goes with it. A fantastic terrorize from Roger, forcing back VGJ Storm once again, allowing no one to pop this BKB and get heavy damage with a flat cannon. But the rest of VGJ Storm, quick TP out will not be enough. Pasha comes in for the lift toss, and then it's MSS who's in a world of hurt. Spy Carapace, he does not pop it in time. Well, actually, he does. He just returns the damage, but not the stun. Can't break free of it. And that's VGJ Storm getting wiped once more. And this opens up Roshan.
They got 1 kill, which was the Oracle. They got to position 5, and it cost them 5 heroes and a buyback. That's a terrible fight. And it's, again, it's the tempo, right? VP have the 2 BKBs. They get in, they get this jump. They get a great fight. Their spell casting is on point. And VGJ Storm, the nature of their lineup is they kind of have to clump up a little bit, right? Like, you need the Undying to go in. You need the Necrophos to come in close to deal damage. You need the Nyx to come in close to have an impact. And when all of these heroes group up and come in, that's when Gyro is excelling, right? And no one is getting so much damage out in these fights because if VGJ Storm play a distancing game, their heroes don't really work together. Only really Arc Warden wants to play this kind of split fight where he is at a distance, and they don't get to play like it. Oh. It's not going to work. If he isolates himself from his team, he's probably just going to die to Tiny or Dark Willow. So
it's amazing how many times Pasha keeps finding them too. Like it's not even, oh, I'm slightly away from my team and gone.
Yeah, he's so farmed on Tiny.
Oh. So they're trying to make some space. That's where Snaking's just forcing in the bottom lane. Second, he sees with this Observer Ward they actually have planted out of range, just out of range of the Dire Sentry. He knows how long he can hang around and then TPs towards the top. But Shadow Blade is up. Snaking's attacking from the trees. So 1 hit, Avalanche toss, 1 hit again. Pasha, it is easy as eating pie.
9-0. Not bad.
Nice entry. Soul is just like, well, I don't see anybody here. I'm going to throw down a Sentry Ward. Oh, hi, MSS.
Look at the kill distribution, by the way. There's 14 kills on VGJ Storm. Half of them are on Solo. 4 of them are on Roger. And their cores have died a grand total of 3 out of 14 times. That just means that the trades that VGJ Storm are getting, they're never getting the high-value kills. So you look across to the other side, 6 deaths on Necro, 8 deaths on Nature's Prophet, and 4 on Rezo's Arc Warden. They're way more spread with who they've killed. VP kind of just slaughtered the entire team the whole game. And that's what gives this kind of net worth differential. They're just getting way more valuable kills. And now they're going to get 4 bounty runes. They still have the Aegis to work with. I think VP are potentially looking toward ending this game soon. They can't necessarily do it against Arc Warden and a high ground Tombstone. It's always scary. But if they don't want to, well, they can just control the map.
Yeah. I'll delay the time, VGJ. That's all they can do for now. But where's VP attack next? Like, MSS is looking for so much. He saw the Sentry Ward time out, so they know he's around here somewhere. And Solo's a little late switching the dust from his backpack. So MSS waits for a different target. BKB on Ramses means Orchid doesn't do enough. They'll need to launch the stun. So they're using snaking as bait. So Sentry wards it down. MSS will come through the back, and yeah, you're right. They really can't kill him. They can die to him. They could definitely do that. There's no Vendetta. A quick dust trigger anyway, so MSS can see everything. But Oracle arrives. They'll both get double stunned. And Resolution's clone tries to find a little bit of a rebuttal. Turns on the Blade Mail and says, please attack into me. All you possibly want. Roger has died in the meantime. This clone doesn't do enough. MSS wants to find the kills. Is back up in mid lane. Kills everywhere across the map. There's no one up on top. They actually managed to die in 3 different points of the map.
Yep. No one ran down red zone. Oh, almost a kill on no one there with the Wrath of Nature, but he is going to get healed up nicely by Solo here with the Urn as well as double Purifying Flames. Okay, actually only single Purifying Flames, interestingly, but yep. No one's almost good to go into the high ground. This Arc Warden kill is the one they were looking for because this opens up the high ground for easy access.
And Snakey's not even coming back. His TP's on cooldown for 4 more seconds. Yeah. There's no reason to fight anyway. They don't have what they need.
VP are crushing this game. They are playing really classic, confident VP style with these 3 active cores that are all online early and want to fight. And it was a bit of a surprising Gyro pick that we weren't seeing coming, but no one's delivering. It's one of his absolute best heroes. And this guy is good at a lot of heroes, but his Gyro is something special.
The laning phase just, it was amazing too, just how well VP were able to get hold of all 3 of the lanes.
Yeah, remember, no one got solo killed in the beginning. So he's only died once after the lane. And he was even playing at a minor disadvantage in the beginning.
Snakey's just trying to create a little bit more space again, push back the waves. They don't find anybody else. Like, all of VP are back on the dire side of the river. They may wait for the next Roshan. He may spawn up in almost 4 minutes. Okay, that's a little bit too far away. They still got the Aegis on Ramses.
Let's go, no one. Veil on Gyro.
Are they actually... Pasha's looking at top. There's a Sentry ward. They're just using snaking as bait. It is such bait. Ramses will move around the back, take out the Observer ward. And they don't find the target they're looking for. Unless Ramses just doesn't care. If he dies in the next 30 seconds, then this makes sense. Actually, make that 13 seconds. He's away.
He's fine.
Like you're poking the beast.
Aegis reclaimed in 5 seconds. So. But they already got the mid-racks, and they got their key item. And I guess this is what the tip is. He's tipping for the Veil, and Gyro's like, what are you doing, no one?
Why is he? Oh, hang on, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it is actually a relatively good Veil game. Let's look at the heroes they're playing with, right? They have... Every hero in their lineup has magic damage. They have a Mjolnir on the Weaver, and both obviously the Dark Willow, one of the highest magic damage output supports. So it's something out of the ordinary, but they're also really far ahead and really confident. So no one's probably just, you know.
Pasha's going to have all the physical damage they require anyway. Like, he's building a Daedalus right now. Solo will have the Spirit Vessel, so there's no regeneration for the Necro. And Blink Dagger for positioning. Roger does not even need this, but with Blink and Mules, it just takes him to a whole nother level. VGJ Storm are again not home. The push comes in from Virtus.pro. Ramses has the end of the double damage rune. That's why that tower's dying so quickly. Resolution has to bubble it up. And Virtus.pro retreat.
For now.
For about 5 seconds. Oh, 3 seconds. Jump back in again. It's good momentum up from the top, and I'm wondering just how hard Virtus.pro want to try and push this. Don't have the easiest lab just to go back and then return again. So depending on the confidence of snaking, he could try and force the issue here.
Oh, MSS was spotted by Pasha. He almost went for the kill.
Here's the TP coming back. So no one will return. They still don't have the Aegis the Immortal, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to go straight up high ground. You've already got the mid-racks. You're under no pressure. And, of course, rune time. 3 of them go to Virtus.pro for the 30-minute mark. Prophet TP's in towards the mid. They found an opening. There's Oracle. 375 gold for Solo's life.
And that's just for MSS. They were 2 heroes getting the AoE gold. They're really far behind, so every kill like this actually gives them a decent bounty. Smoke. This is what you gotta do, right?
Call downing a shrine. It's like, all right. Yeah, you're right. This is what they have to do. It's a smoke maneuver. Vendetta's off cooldown in 5 seconds time. They don't have a lot of information to work with, and VP have everything. Like, there's observers and sentries everywhere for them.
No one definitely could die here.
Oh, yeah, if they can get him, they got to get him before he gets his BKB off with the Reaper's Scythe. They don't get the kill instantly, but the kill is a kill, and it's the Necro.
It's a big kill.
Almost 1,000 gold. That brings him very close to his BKB.
Dire are scanning.
And Resolution will leave one clone behind to keep the push going on the top. But Ramses is arriving on bottom. They have to come home again. Proctor actually just blocked his own camp. Guess they don't need it. They've got a whole bunch of others on the map.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah.
is under attack. Radiant's
Oh,
bottom
free tower.
has
Yeah,
fallen.
double catapult. No one came back.
Yo, VGJ, you want to defend your base?
Radiant's
siege creep,
bottom barracks
Snaking's
are
up on
under
top.
attack.
Is anyone actually
They might think
returning?
it's a bait. Like,
Is this like Virtus.pro? It's like, what the hell's going on? They have to be... Okay, no, Ramses will come in, attack into SVG. Tree toss is on the way, and the catapult. They just combo him so hard from range. Not bait,
okay.
just space. Well played.
MSS chips in. That's good.
Trian's continuously pushing in that top lane, so Virtus.pro, the kill on the Undying isn't enough for them just to take high ground. But if they knew what we knew, they would have just gone at that.
Yeah, they didn't have the information. Even though they have good wards, there was still some uncertainty of what was going on, I think.
Roshan's a minute and a half away.
Gyro close to Lincoln's, building that to deal with the Reaper Scythe more than likely. Although, of course, he can't rely on blocking that one. It could block that, or maybe a Dagon, or perhaps a Flux, if that's good. Gives him that extra safety. So I think now VP will wait for this Lincoln's. They'll group up, go S4, control the Roche area.
God,
I say go S4 because I think one guy will still split push bottom and be able to connect with TP. We'll see if that is the case or if they just flat out group up as 5.
Well, it could be Pasha. Pasha's got so many different ways to escape and just push a lane out. Like, he's got BKB, he's got a Blink Dagger, he's got a Shadow Blade.
He is really, really, really tanky.
Yeah, he's only the 3rd highest net worth on the field.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, the other two still belong to Virtus.pro.
Yep.
There's a BKB now for Necro, so that's putting the money of the kill on no one to good use.
It's an item he probably needs right now,
Radiant's top
but
shrine is under attack.
feels like it might be a bit too little too late, but we'll see how it goes. So top tier 2 tower, VP are not committing too hard for this. They don't feel like they have enough information. They now see Undying on a ward in the bottom area, and that's the call to go straight away. That Undying and the Nature's Prophet showing bottom. Go straight for it, they grab the shrine, and I would imagine they will wait for Roshan, then try to end the game, force the enemy team back.
Where is MSS off to?
They are kind of getting forced back themselves. I think he's looking for an option for his Nature's Prophet. They want to pick off the Oracle again if they can. And it might actually work out if Solo walks up now.
In 2-1, he can go back into Vendetta. And
He saw him.
Yeah, he sees Solo hanging around Roshan.
Now he sees his bodyguard.
Well, does he?
I think he saw him invising. I'm pretty sure he saw that.
All right. Well, they know where Solo's sitting in the back of the Roche pit, and he's starting his TP. MSS needs to get the stun, but no. He TP's back to the tier 2 tower. Snaking at least has the Arcane Rune coming into this fight.
Oh, they missed the stun.
Instantly triggers onto no one, gets the BKB off, and it's a great avalanche in the back lines. MSS did at least spike Carapace on the back, but man, that nuke damage is so hard with the call out and flag cannon. No one's done the work. Resolution, Roshan's coming out looking for a denial. He won't get one out of all this fight. It all belongs to Virtus.pro. Snaking's BKB will allow him to TP away to safety, but you know this game is on the ropes. Ramses is chasing down after MSS, had the Sentry Ward to see him, but he won't have much more. Roger blinks in, Eul Scepter into the Cursed Crown with the Avalanche toss, and they just nuke him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're going to go straight for the GG. Fight back from Resolution. He has to try to hold the base for like 30 seconds with his 2 Arc Wardens. Can use the double now. Just waiting for it. Is actually going to use it now. Walking it out. Going to put down a field, I would imagine.
Yep.
It's going to buy a little bit of time, but that one's gone.
Radiant's bottom
Well, they're not even fighting it. It's like, we don't care. Your clone is just as effective as you are. At least Snaking was able to grab all 4 bounty runes while this was going on. So they got some cash, even if they did lose their racks. small victory.
Very.
Very, very small.
Very, very tiny victory in that fight, yeah.
And Snaking has the momentum at bottom lane too. That's a other small thing. And Roshan's up.
The momentum bottom doesn't matter that much when they have big creeps. It's still going to push back eventually.
Won't matter too if Snaking dies. You'll have to almost BKB TP this out, but that won't happen. Pasha, hello, goodbye. BKB into the trees, Sprout and TP. Vision, terrorized. That won't work. Snaking actually escapes on 160 HP.
Oh dear.
SVG smoked up. The Sentry Ward revealed Ramsey, so they just instantly spike Carapace, looking for the follow-up stun. They do break the Lincoln Sphere. Ramsey's protected by the False Promise, so we can time-lapse back out again, and no one turns on the BKB. The side, it's not enough to kill off the Oracle. It's Ramsey's, and it's Ramsey's. VGJ Storm in full retreat, and they are absolutely terrified. The stun is there from MSS to hold back Roger. Will it be enough when Solo's around the back? SVG just wants this. He's got a couple of one-charges to give him to Cave back again. But who are they going to find? Solo in the trees. They find Snaking in the trees. Finally, Solo does go down, but doesn't stop Roger, no one, and Ramsey's from teaming up to finish the job. Another great stun from MSS. Resolution has to hide inside the bubble, protected by the BKB. Gemma Trueside on the deck. At least MSS can pick that up. Nope, no one will roll back in with Rocket Barrage. You can't pick it up if you're all dead. Arc Warden with the Blade Mail is just trying to chain them out. No one is hitting himself, but it does not matter. GG, well played. Kills galore. And 2-0 is the victory for Virtus.pro. A fantastic way to end their group stage.
And I'm going to quickly have a look at what that means for the final standings of this group.
Do we know? Spoiler alerts incoming for everybody.
I don't think we know yet, but this is very exciting. Okay, what we can say for sure is that VP are now guaranteed second.
Yes.
And that does matter because that will mean VP will either play OG or LGD, whoever VGJ Storm does not want to pick. And I would imagine VGJ Storm will be picking OG.
Yes.
More than likely.
More than likely. And there's one thing that will force us a tiebreaker right now is Team Secret and Newbie are currently playing their final game. So you'll want to check this one out. If Newbie win the game, we have a three-way tie with Team Secret, Optic, and Newbie.
And if Newbie lose it, there is no tie at all.
Correct.
In that case, Optic would end in the upper bracket. Would you believe it? They looked really, really poor at one point in the score. Not really in the games necessarily, but on the board, they were bottom. Yeah. They were bottom going into today, weren't they?
Yeah, they were actually all the way down.
They were really far down, and Optic's day today has just been great.
Yep. It's been wonderful. So they know they've at least got the playoff.
They went 4-0, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Optic just double 2-0 today.
It was a clean victory today.
2-0 Pain, 2-0 VG.
Yep. And if you got a fantasy team with Team Secret as well as Optic players in your lineup, like this guy, you're kind of hoping for that tiebreaker to arrive.
So let's finish this series off. So obviously, great play from VP. I'm looking forward to seeing them play more like this at the main event. I think this is the style VP plays best, is when all their three cores have high tempo, quickly online heroes, and when Solo plays this save or just early momentum as well. He has like this subset of heroes that he's exceptionally good on. Oracle is one of them. We love his Bane. Disruptor. I think going into the main event with those heroes for him, and then having Roger on like different just playmaking fours really is really good. And then just playing this high tempo. They didn't really let VGJ Storm catch their breath in this game. It was fight until the end.
They got 43 kills themselves in 37 minutes. Like that's a high tempo style of game that you want to see. Virtus.pro, I love it. When they play against VGJ Storm, when they play up against Pain Gaming, like it brings out the best in them almost.
Yep.
So I want to see more of that. VP, upper bracket for them. Check out the other games. Go jump to that now. There will potentially be tiebreakers for everyone with fantasy points that wants them. And we'll see you guys back during the main event.